Let me see your identification.
What did you say? I'll tighten those restraints. Scavenger scum.
We don't need to see his identification.
I will remove these restraints and leave the cell with the door open.
My lord.
Don't tell us. Don't tell us. Don't tell us. Don't tell us. Don't tell us.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Sidebar Cantina, the podcast where we talk about Star Wars, pop culture, the rainy, smarch weather, or whatever the fuck we feel like talking about.
Lousy smarch weather.
Yep. I'm Mr. Jason Roscom, with me here each and every single week. The Darth Vader to my Palpatine, Dave Martin. Hello, Dave.
Hello, Jason.
How are you?
I'm beat up, sore, old,
Okay, so
all the above.
usual David Day then.
Existence is pain.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right,
Yep.
fair enough. We're not alone, though, in the studio
We are
today.
not.
Joining us, our good friend from the band Till the End, Big Swede, a.k.a. Nick from Swede Studios. How's it going, buddy?
What's up, guys?
Hey.
Nice to be here again.
Yeah, it's always great to have you.
Hell yeah.
It's been a minute.
Yeah,
It has been a minute.
it has.
I just now was thinking, I like turned and look. I'm like, when's the last time you were on here?
It's been a minute.
I think you played music the last time.
Was it the
here.
Nirvana episode? Or did we do something after that?
Honestly, I don't remember. I mean, I know we've done a couple things. We did the Nirvana episode.
Move it closer to the
Yeah, I was
mic.
gonna say you're gonna have to get a little bit closer.
How's that?
This is a podcast, not a...
You don't have to. You don't have to.
yeah, deep throat like Jason last week.
Yeah.
No, we did a couple things. We did like the, what was it? The Star Wars encyclopedia thing. There's been a couple things we did, but I don't remember what the last one was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Well.
Somebody will tell us.
Yeah. Either way, welcome back.
Yeah. Good
So.
to be here.
So yeah, today's. Well, what exactly are we talking about today, Dave?
Well, this guy over here went on a little road trip with his band Till the End.
That's right.
So I thought it would be cool to bring him in here to talk about the band. We haven't done a music episode in a while, so
Yep.
why not have a no shit musician come in and tell us how things went?
Yeah.
And maybe actually show us a little music video or something.
Okay, maybe
Something.
maybe a little preview of something coming.
Yeah, a little tease, little. How's your father?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, a little, just a.
All right.
So smooth.
You all right now?
My penis so smooth.
Yes,
All right.
My penis so smooth.
I'm ready.
I feel personally attacked right now. All right. So yeah, we're gonna talk to Nick about his recent adventures and the band Till the End, and we'll get into some other stuff as well. But for now, should we take care of some business first, Dave? Maybe talk about Patreon.
The only person here right now that's going to talk about Patreon is you.
All right, then I guess I'll get to it. So we'd like to give a huge shout out to all of our current patrons: Frank Kalevich, Don Solsky, Helen Martin, Shotgun Mark, Nick from Swede Studios. Hey! Scott and Kim from Used and Abused, Catherine Rennick, Tina Land, Wally Frogmore, my wonderful mother-in-law Patricia Goodstein, Lord Helmet Fire, The Orange and Fett Show, Carly Vickers, David Schmuck, Chantal from Pop My Culture, Kristen Roscom, Sterling Azier. Oh, and I have something to say real quick too. Before I finish this, or as soon as I finish it. Dragon Buddy, Frederick Martin, and Nicholas Schaefer.
My penis so smooth.
If you'd like to consider becoming a supporter, you can find us at patreon.com/thesidebarcantina. Thank you again to all of our listeners and supporters. You are the reason why we do this. So, as I was reading the names, I just remembered Shotgun Mark reached out to me this week.
Oh yeah,
Because on a recent episode, we mentioned like we hadn't heard from him in quite a while. So he reached out over Facebook and was like, hey, I'm still alive.
Oh, and that's good.
Yeah. So
Still shotgunning.
yeah, he's
Still-
alive and well.
Well, that's good.
God, that's so funny that the shotgun picture is never gonna like.
No, that's it. It's Shotgun Mark.
It's just I don't. Are you familiar with the story of Shotgun Mark?
I am not.
Okay.
Not.
So Mark was he was a follower of ours, longtime listener, and one day he bought one of our shirts, and he took a selfie with the shirt to send to us to say, hey, I got one of your shirts. But in the background, there's just this shotgun leaned against the wall. No
Yeah.
context, no nothing. There's just a shotgun randomly in his living room, just leaning against the wall.
Like, oh, I'm getting ready to murder some people, so let me put this down over here, take this selfie for the guys, and then, okay, now let me murder.
Yeah. So that's why he's Shotgun Mark, and
And we love you, Shotgun Mark.
we do. And it's hilarious.
I'm glad to hear you're okay.
So anyway,
Yeah.
you got any sidebar headlines for
No,
us?
apparently.
I thought,
It says none.
oh, I thought Lunar Girl said, I
Well,
guess when
but
she
she-
said it was done means,
She said she updated the notes.
okay.
It says
Maybe it's the reads at the end.
today is the 24th, right?
We're a professional here,
That
folks.
it is.
Well, I mean, I don't want to. Luna Girl does her bit, and I want to be sure that I'm not messing it.
Right.
And she just confirmed in the chat that there's no sidebar headlines. There's
Okay.
more stuff at the end of the show, but no
Okay.
sidebar headlines.
Fair enough.
The one headline is that we got fucking Swede Studios
Yeah.
Till the End in the house.
So we've got a day in Star Wars ish. I called it the week in Star Wars because I was looking through the Star Wars app, and apparently a lot happened this week in 1976. Are you okay?
No,
Oh my
no,
God.
I'm not.
They started filming episode 4, New Hope, this week in 1976. In fact, like today was the day that Alec Guinness showed up on set in Tunisia, apparently. And I think the official filming started like 3 days ago. The anniversary was like 2 or 3 days ago for when
Wow.
filming started. Then each thing, it seems like in the Star Wars app for each day, it's something related to the filming of the show,
I'll tell you,
which is 49 years ago.
if you haven't done so, and I've talked about this before, and we talk about quite a bit on the show,
Yeah.
especially during the Star Wars topics, but get yourself the computerized version, however you do it. Like I know the iBooks version of the making of Star Wars
Mm-hmm.
for New Hope. Get that shit and read through it because there's so much good stuff in there. Like all bits and pieces of when Alec Guinness shows up, and then all the interviews of people, like what happened when he showed up, and like how things went.
Mm.
Like it is perfection when it comes to like the I don't know, like this is the back scenes, back door. What words?
Hey.
What are the things? The making of
Right.
things. Is that called something?
Behind the scenes.
That something
It's typically how they phrase that.
typically.
It's definitely not backdoor. That's something.
It's not the back door. No, not. All right, fair enough. Get the fucking making of book, and you'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
You will do it.
Yes.
And you will do it. So yeah, anyway, this week is when they started filming New Hope, and it just it really made me start thinking about the upcoming anniversary, because this was 49 years ago when they started filming, which means in 2 years we're gonna actually hit the 50th anniversary of A New Hope. 50 fucking years is coming up.
Bonkers, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm old.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to do something really big for that.
Agreed.
And I would imagine they're going to do some theatrical re-release, and it's probably going to be a big deal for Lucasfilm.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah.
God, I'll be 52.
Damn.
Yikes. Yeah. Age. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hitting me hard.
Sorry to break the mood like that.
Yeah,
but,
age is hitting me hard this weekend. And well, I'll get into it when I get in my week. But
Damn it.
fucking hell, man.
So speaking of Star Wars, we had a new Andor trailer hit today,
Yes, we did,
and
and I haven't watched it yet.
right. So, and I don't believe Nick has either.
Have
So we're
not.
going to go ahead and watch this live here for you folks,
Yes,
so you can see what we think, and we'll talk about afterwards what
with
our overall
with the
thoughts
cord
are.
dangling. God, why don't I fix that?
Yeah, why don't you?
What are we talking about?
The cord dangling.
Dangling cord in front of the screen.
Oh, Jesus. Well, they can't see it, can
It's
they?
not distracting
No, they
at
can't.
all.
Oh,
No,
okay.
not at Well,
Yeah,
you know what
maybe-
it is? It's because of the thing, the controller bit. I think it just keeps falling down.
I see.
3PO.
All right. Well, is that where you're watching it? Is on this?
Yeah, where else am I going to watch it?
I don't know, man.
Bend
Oh.
over and I'll show you.
All right. So are we ready to do this?
Who changed their name? Yes.
Oh my God. All right. We're starting the new Andor trailer.
Do it!
Right now.
I came with you to be part of something. The Empire cannot win.
Oh shit.
It's a different kind of mission. If
Oh, the
it goes
lesbians
up
are
in
back.
flames, it will burn very brightly.
But if I'm giving up everything, I want to win. We have to. We must stand together. We will be crushed.
Resistance is absurd.
It's a weapon. They're building a weapon. The monster will come for us all.
Revolution is not for the saying. You're right here, and you're ready to fight.
There's a future here for those who dare.
Welcome to the rebellion.
Okay, I got to go back here.
Dude, I am so fucking stoked for this thing. Jesus Christ.
Dude, two things right off the bat.
Yeah.
I fucking love Stellan Skarsgård, man. That dude is so fucking badass.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
I love that dude. And like I said, could be wrong, could be just something to throw you off, but like, are we getting K2SO?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Like-
yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's been confirmed because they in that like behind the scenes featurette thing that they released a couple weeks ago.
The backdoor thing?
Yeah, the backdoor thing.
Yeah.
They showed Alan Tudyk.
Yeah.
Is that his
Yes.
name?
Yeah.
They showed him in like his like mocap suit
Oh,
next
okay.
to Cassian.
I had not seen that.
yeah,
Yeah.
so we know he's back.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Because yeah,
He's
we
awesome.
we got the teases with the security droids there. Now hold on, I want to look at something real quick. There's the scene early on where Saw Gerrera was standing or looking outside of a window, and I think that was the Star Destroyer that was over Jeddah.
It looked like the same picture that
Yeah.
when he's standing there before as the jet is exploding,
Right,
like
right.
before he dies.
Yeah,
You know,
so-
takes the hit off the fucking nitrous.
yeah, you can see that Star Destroyer in the distance. It's a deserty looking planet.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, we know that, so it makes sense, right? We know this is taking them right up until the point where,
Nick's trying to see from a mile away.
yeah, it's so,
My penis is
so smooth, so smooth. But
See a little dot on the
yeah,
screen.
that's a Star Destroyer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
Is out there, and he's looking out that window. Like, so we know the timeline's taking us right up to fucking Rogue One. And
Yeah.
I'm assuming that it's probably going to overlap it, you know, for some stuff,
Yeah.
and so there'll be some crossover. All this is doing is just kind of validating that to a point. It's like, okay, here you're getting us all the way to right up into Jeddah.
Yeah.
We're doing next week we're doing this book, Reign of the Empire, and I'm got about an hour left of reading it. I don't know how far you are.
I'm probably about at the halfway point, I think, right
Okay.
now.
I can tell you it's straight away, it's not the most exciting book. Like it's not it doesn't have like a whole lot of like action in it.
Mm-hmm.
But holy fuck if I'm not engaged, because I feel like we're reading it at exactly the right time to fucking step into this.
Yeah, it's
Are
kind
you-
of
are
like
you-
they did that on purpose.
Right?
You know?
There's, but when's the last time we had that? When's the last time we actually had that where, because we thought we were getting that with Aftermath.
Right.
Remember, we read that book and we're like, okay, yeah, we get this book and it's giving us all this content and everything else, and then
no ties whatsoever.
Yeah, Last Jedi took a giant shit in our mouth. But with the way this book is going, and then throughout the entire book, this is the feeling. This is like the might as well have this music fucking playing. This is the Mon Mothma character that we're following along with. Dude, I'm fucking stoked. I am stoked for this fucking show. Let's do it.
That whole trailer, the music, like you have that tension.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you can feel it, and you can kind of feel like the noose of the Empire sort of wrapping around, and the desperation on everybody. And I just want to point again to Adria Arjona, who is fucking gorgeous. I hope they don't kill her off in this, but more than likely they will.
Everyone dies.
Yeah.
If they're not, that's the one thing we know that's going to happen in Andor. Everybody going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now check out this scene of what's her name? Cranky Pants.
Revolution is not for the
like joking.
Yeah, she's like all upset about something.
Not for the saying.
She's calling at her.
Revolution is not for the saying.
Oh shit.
Like maybe
Vader shows up and you failed me for the last time. ISB.
I mean, it's entirely possible. We know we get inklings of the ISB's role, and we'll save that for next week.
Yes.
We'll save that shit for next week.
All right, fair enough. So yeah, I'm excited. I think I don't think they need to hype this up anymore, quite frankly. It's we don't need more trailers, we don't need more scenes or anything. It's
Just get us there.
Yeah.
Just let's fucking go.
So here's a question for both of you. Nick, are you familiar with how they're releasing these episodes of Andor? Like
No.
3 a week?
Really?
Yeah, so they're releasing them over 4 weeks, 3 episodes per week. Now, for the people who like to binge shows, that's, I'm sure they're loving that. But for us in the podcast, that's not really going to go very well, or just with me in general, because it's hard to find time to sit and watch an hour of TV a week with Kristen as opposed to like 3 hours. So it's going to be tough.
I think for me, honestly, that works better for me because, I mean, not that I'm going to sit down and watch, like, I don't know if they're going to do all 3 at once.
Yeah.
Or if it, like, okay.
No,
so
they
I
are.
probably wouldn't do all 3 at once, but I would kind of space it out through the week.
Yeah.
I'd maybe watch one Monday, Wednesday, Friday kind of thing.
Yeah.
Rather than you watch one and then you got to wait a whole nother week.
Yeah, I guess one of my bigger concerns too with that is spoilers.
Spoilers.
Because
somebody is going to sit there and watch all 3 of them right away.
Yeah, and then somebody's going to post some stupid fucking headline on Facebook or something.
Well,
and it's going to.
Here's the solution to that. Don't go on social media.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which,
no, trust
which
me, I'm
has been
trying.
working out famously, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
Sidebar. So, you know what? I know. I'm not going to. I'm not going to say anything. Not going to say anything. Not going to say anything.
Well, you got us all excited for nothing.
No, I stay off of Facebook, and because I don't want to post and retort on something, but like I let something get to me the other day. And I just was like, my Facebook picture has changed for a reason.
Mhm.
And like, I posted some commentary that Kathy actually made me. She wanted me to take the whole thing down, but I refused. And it's not overt. It's not super overt or anything like that. But it's just like, this is why I have to stay away from it.
Who were you saying this to?
Who do you think?
I have no idea. That's why I'm asking.
It's them.
Them. That doesn't help me.
Them. The people I work for.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
That
I
are.
don't know.
It's just. That's it. I'll get yelled at. I'm sure Kathy's
All right.
listening right now. I got to stay off of social media because I'll get sucked into something. It's just live longer if I just stay away from idiots. Because they are idiots.
That's the
There's
problem.
a
I
bunch
have
of dumb
is
motherfuckers out there.
holding back from engaging with the idiots.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking hard.
Yeah. Speaking of the people you work for, did you see the 6G fighter that they announced?
The Boeing one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems interesting.
Boeing has some problems right now.
Yeah.
And maybe getting this influx of positivity to, build this new fighter, maybe that'll help get their shit together. But man, I'll tell you what, if I was an independent contractor going in, or if I was DISA going in to a Boeing plant and looking at this shit, the 767 line that's producing the tanker, like not good things. Like Boeing needs to get their shit together.
Yeah. Well, apparently so does Lockheed, because the F-35 is having constant problems.
But the F-35's had problems from the jump.
Yeah.
Like it's not like it's all of a sudden. It's not like they delivered a product and then kind of went like, hey, guess what? There's a bunch of fucked up shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, oh yeah, here's the keys. Don't turn it on. Don't try and do your mission. Like nothing like that.
Okay.
It's like, hey, here's your F-35. Kind of sucks. We're really, really trying though. We're going to keep plugging away at it.
Yeah.
Whereas Boeing's like, here's your piece of shit, and fuck you.
Here's your refueler / cargo plane that can't cargo.
Or refuel, and go fuck yourself. But
go fuck yourself.
But we paid you to do this. Nope, fuck you. Well, can we see the plans? Nope. Go fuck yourself. Proprietary.
Wow.
But how are we going to fix this? I don't know. Figure it out. Fuck you.
Not my fucking problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, that was worth that 20-something years in delays. And
dude, read my capstone paper from Embry-Riddle that I wrote fucking 5 years ago now.
Was it about the 46?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, you know what? Like I said, build it. If they build it, hopefully good things will come.
What is this? The fucking one baseball movie, Field of Dreams? Yeah.
You build it.
Yeah. Hope is a poor strategy, though.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Mm-hmm. All right, fair enough.
They need to build more of those F-15 EXs. Dude, what you talk about? Fucking some badass shit.
You know what they need to build?
More A-10s?
A-10s.
Yeah.
New A-10s with upgraded avionics and shit.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, absolutely they should.
Keep me employed.
That's
please,
right.
Please.
Build more A-10s. Write your congressman. Say, hey, the A-10 Warthog needs to continue to fly.
Mm-hmm.
Because Nick needs his job.
I need a job.
Yes.
So he doesn't have to go back to the Viper. Back to the lawn dart for you.
Mm-hmm.
Or I could just be a musician and live off my wife. She'll be my sugar mama.
Well, I mean, there is that.
So in the chat, Lunar Girl mentioned she's a middle-aged woman and she hates Facebook. Aren't those the people who love Facebook the most? Those are the ones that I always see on there posting all the time.
Yeah, it's definitely targeted towards certain people.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, gotta stay away. Gotta stay away.
Of course, I think the youth of today, they don't even give two shits about Facebook.
No, not really.
Yeah,
not unless they're trolling for something.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, we ready to move on to our weeks?
Has it always been holding a baby like that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You even mentioned that in the past.
Have I?
Yes.
Oh my God. Wow.
Hi, Dave. Welcome to the studio.
Hi. Yeah, it's beautiful in here.
Yeah.
I love what you've done with the place.
Gotta rearrange these Black Series figures, but besides that. Anyway, we gonna get into our weeks?
Yes.
All right. So I'll get us started. I've actually been exercising lately.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Weighed myself fairly recently, and I was up to 205 pounds. And when you're 5'6", that's a lot. So I've finally decided it's time for real to get my shit together, start exercising, start eating better. So I've been doing that. I've been running on the nice days that we've been having, and I've been hitting the gym before work in the morning. So
Nice.
it's
That's gotta be early. Don't you go? You go to work pretty early, don't you?
yeah, my shift starts at 6. So yeah, so I'd probably leave the house about 4:15 to go to the gym.
Good on you.
Yeah, but and I'm not shooting for the big muscular look anymore. I'm more just like wanting to cut some weight, get a little bit of tone back, and just be healthy so I can live forever.
There you go.
'Cause that's goal number 1,
It's a good plan.
to keep living.
I like everything about that plan.
Yeah, so that's all.
I should probably do something similar,
We all should.
but I won't.
Yeah, that's
Maybe.
fine.
Maybe.
To each their own. Don't want to hurt your back anymore.
Oh my god, dude.
The only other thing I've been doing this week is I've been looking for new music to listen to or different music to listen to other than my certain playlists I listen to. Well, and after I listened to the Till the End EP on YouTube, once I listened to that, I'm like, well, what do I listen to now? So I dove back into the Guns N' Roses archive because I was a huge Guns N' Roses fan back in high school.
Right.
Like a lot of people were, but now a lot of people just shit on them. So I don't know what the.
I don't think their live performances as of late help that cause.
No,
Right.
definitely not. But they're
What was like screaming? Cheater! I'm not understanding words.
There's a lot of those like 80s, 90s bands that just need to stop.
Yeah.
They're just stealing people's money at this point.
Yeah.
right. But people are willing to give them that money, so why not take it? I guess. But no, I've been listening to their catalog again, going back to Appetite for Destruction, which was such a good album.
Great.
Fucking just raw, visceral, just good shit. But I also went through the Use Your Illusions also, and the song Civil War from Use Your Illusion 2 really kind of hits a little bit more today than even it did back then.
Right.
So it's like, fuck. Yeah. So Axel saw this the whole time.
Yeah. I think you can say that for a lot of stuff in that era, right? The early 90s.
Yeah.
Kind of like it just proves how cyclical everything is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just I guess we can, if you're an optimist, then you can use that as a hey, we're going to come out of the cycle and it's going to be better, because everything's cyclic.
Yeah.
Cyclical? Cyclic.
Cyclic, bro.
Cyclic. Yeah, there you go. Hand him the guitar. Anyway, that's the optimist.
Yeah.
But what Gen Xer do you know that's an optimist? Is that a thing?
Not this guy.
Yeah. Not too many of us.
Yeah, that's for millennials or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, new Gen Xers aren't really, don't do the optimism thing.
Yeah.
It's definitely not glass half full.
Right. We were always the cynical generation.
Yes. Because, what else are you going to do when you're fucking left alone
Yeah.
to fend for yourself?
full of cynicism and sarcasm.
Yep.
Right.
But I've been listening to their back catalog, and Appetite is always such a good fucking album. Like I could listen to that over and over again, till the cows come home. And some of their later stuff, I know a lot of people didn't like the Use Your Illusions, but I think most of the songs on both of them are pretty damn good. But so that's what I've been doing this week. That and
good.
listening to that Reign of the Empire audiobook.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
What have I been doing? So I'll tell you what I did this past weekend, which is why my back is all fucked up. So we got a wild hair up our ass and decided we had the tree taken out. I talked about the tree.
Mm-hmm.
So we got the tree taken out and decided that whole area of my front yard, we're going to turn into a big mulch bed. And we're going to plant a dogwood and plant some other stuff and just have this big garden area in the front.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, let me go online. I'm going to do the online measurement thing to see how much fucking mulch I need to be able to do this. So I do all that shit and calculate it out. I go to the mulch store down Magnolia down the street from here.
Mm-hmm.
Order the mulch, and they're like, "Oh, when do you want it?" I'm like, "Well, I'm free today." And they're like, "Okay, it'll be here. It'll be here today." Like, all right, great. Like, they made it seem like it was going to be there, like follow me home type thing.
Right.
It wasn't, but it did show up in the afternoon, so I had time to like kind of prep the area, and we already had to put a hose down for the shape that we wanted, and all that blah blah blah. Shows up. I ordered 7 yards of mulch. Do you conceptualize how much that is?
No.
So, do you know what the size of a Toyota Corolla?
That, yes, I do know.
Okay, 7 yards of mulch, it equates to about the size of a Toyota Corolla.
Oh,
in my driveway.
that's a lot.
It is a lot. And I moved all of said mulch across my front yard to fill in that thing, did 2 mulch beds, did the mulch beds in the backyard, like the whole, like that's all I did this weekend was move this fucking mulch around. And my fucking back is killing me.
Yeah.
Like it was an immense tasking. I probably could have done the whole thing with 5 yards. And I will say it was better to not do it like with bags, because the bags, if I had ordered that same amount of mulch in bags, like 13 bags of mulch is a yard, to put it in context.
Okay.
So if I needed 7 yards,
That's a lot.
yeah, it's a lot of fucking bags.
Were you able to use it all?
But yeah, I got it. I have an area that I didn't intend on making into a mulch bed that I put the mulch down in.
Yeah.
So I made a new mulch bed, but I probably overestimated by at least a yard.
Mm-hmm.
But we got fresh mulch in all the beds, so it worked out, and that whole area looks real good. So it was worth it, but fuck if I can barely move. Like I'm on muscle relaxers, naproxen, and Tylenol, like all day today, just to fucking get to this point. And tomorrow is going to be worse, because you know how it's the second day, right? So I'm kind of getting I had a few hours on Saturday before it got dark and was dealing with the wind and everything, and then Sunday I was all day moving it, and I was at a point where I had to like stop. I sat down in my little like Eagles rocking chair in my Florida room, and I would take a short nap.
Wow.
To get energy, then I would get up and go and start shoveling again. Like, and I just did just like small recharges. Like, and I'm talking like, close your eyes and just kind of do this, like, not really sleeping, but just like you feel like close your eyes and just kind of wake up and you have that little recharge.
Yeah.
I did that like half a dozen times. And I was getting to a point where each time, like, put the wheelbarrow down and I'd stand there and just stare at this fucking mulch. Like, I'm trying to command my body to fucking move. And my body's like, you can go fuck yourself. Like, we are done. I'm like, there's too much mulch to move. You have to go.
Yeah.
So, and then Kathy would look out the window and just see me staring, like standing there staring, pop her out. Like, you all right? I'm like, fine. Just trying to get after it. Just trying to get after it. So, yeah, that was my whole weekend, was moving that mulch. Look, my dad at 50, no way he was fucking doing that shit. So I guess I should be happy that I can still push through that. I mean, really, that's what it comes down to. It's like, it's not without being in pain, because I was in pain the entire fucking time.
Yeah.
So I'm pushing through that. It was a testament to like how much I could tolerate and push through. So, but should I have done that? Absolutely fucking not. Absolutely not. Like, hey, take your 50-year-old body and move 7 yards of mulch in the span of 30 hours. Go.
Hell no.
Actually, less than 30 hours, but you get the point.
Yeah.
It was fucking awful. 10 out of 10, don't recommend. It looks good. And I thatched too. Before the mulch came, I thatched the fucking front yard.
What does that mean?
So, like, I have zoysia, right? You know what zoysia is?
No.
It's a type of grass that, like, it's the kind of, it gets brown. It's like brown in the wintertime.
Okay.
And then it's like that blonde brownie color.
Sure.
And then in the summertime, it gets real green. It's like good in the sun.
Yeah.
Well, what happens is, like, you have to thatch that. Like, you're basically raking it out to get, like, the dead bits of the grass out. So then the sun and the water gets to the good stuff.
Yeah.
You don't want to do it, like, super often because sometimes the stuff that's there helps keep the nutrients in. But I hadn't thatched in a couple of years, so it needed it. But yeah, so I did that before all the other shit.
Right, right.
So yeah, dude, just because you can do a thing doesn't mean you should.
Right.
So while you were exercising and enjoying yourself, I was abusing my body, wondering why. Yeah. So, yes, why does my back hurt? It's because I'm stupid and I don't listen to my body. That's the reason.
But yeah, I mean, you've been doing this for years.
Yeah. It got done.
Yeah.
It got done. It was the same. So, Jeff, my son Jeff came over. He stopped by before he went to work to look at his car. And I did something. What did I do? I did it by myself. Oh, I moved all the furniture for the fucking floor. We did the flooring thing.
Right.
Right. And I said it on the show last week. I'm like, I'm like, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to go home and I'm going to move a piano.
Right. And I questioned that. And Dave texted me that night.
Right. As soon as I got home, Kathy says, "Hey, I tried to move the piano. It wouldn't move." I'm like, fuck. Because I didn't want to move the piano that night. I was like, I'm fucking sore from moving the piano into the other room. Piano in this like fake brick fireplace that's made out of cinder blocks. I moved those things and with the rest of the furniture. And then, a couple days later, all right, floor's done. Let's move it back. And she wanted to get the kitchen back because all that shit was in the kitchen. So we couldn't sit down and actually have a meal in the kitchen. So I get it. But yes. And the worst part was I had to pick the piano up to get it over the lip of the the uprights are fucking heavy, especially at one end.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the end that was closest and was the one that I was fucking pulling it from. So yeah, deadlifting a fucking piano over this rim and then trying to keep it off the ground so that it doesn't scuff up the new floor, which I only made one scratch on the new floor, which the guy, Mr. Juan, he's going to come and fix it. But yeah, moved the piano, moved all the shit back. And then, my son was like, you could have called me and
right.
I could have came and helped you. I'm like, okay, yes, I could have. There's a dozen people I could have called, right? That I'm sure would have said, yeah, we'll come over and we'll help.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But why would I do that? Why would I inconvenience another person? Right? No matter what, they're going to have to get in their car. They're going to have to drive a certain amount of time. They're going to show up. We're going to do this thing. It's going to take a minute. It's not moving it very far.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to have to socialize with them.
God forbid.
Then I would have to reciprocate some kind of way.
Yeah.
Right? And then they're going to drive back for something that I can fucking do myself and just deal with the consequences. That's, of course I'm going to do it myself. Why would I do that? Who does that? Like, if I can fucking do it by myself, then I guess who's doing it by himself? Up until the point where I go to failure and now I can't do it, I'm gonna do it by myself. It's not because I don't want to socialize or anything else, and it's not even like a weakness thing. It's just like I can do it. I'm going to fucking do it. Why would I involve anyone else if I know I can fucking do it?
Mm-hmm.
Am I crazy?
No,
I do the same thing.
Yeah, I found myself in similar situations
Yeah.
where it's like I could ask somebody, but then I feel guilty and just,
Yeah, it's like why would I inconvenience somebody else? Like,
yeah,
I'm not going to do that.
And I have two. Well, two teenage. One's 20, and the other one's 14. I have two boys living in my house that I could have them do things, but I still do them myself.
Right. Right. You know, and as I'm moving this mulch and I'm having these thoughts of like, how did I get into this mess? And, questioning my life choices to get to this point.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the kind of the same thing. Like, even if I had fully capable people in the house, I'd probably still be out here doing it. Because at some point it's like, okay, I need to prove to myself that I can do the thing.
Yeah.
Because if I can't do the thing, then now I feel like I failed at this. Like, and then failure is bad, right? So it comes down to like a win-lose thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I hate losing, so I'm gonna fucking do it. And then today I'm going to suffer greatly, and tomorrow I again will suffer. But yeah, that's. I think it's maybe a Gen X thing too. Yeah, because you had such a dependence on doing it yourself.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, when we see something like that, it's like, oh yeah, I can. Like, how many times did you rearrange your bedroom as a kid?
Oh yeah,
all the time, right? Did you?
Kind of.
get bored with it one way, so you gotta like move it around a different way.
I don't think Jason has the ADHD.
No, probably
Yeah.
not like you've got.
Yeah, I honestly like that's something that's common, I think, with ADHD
Mm.
is that like, all right, I'm tired of my room like this. I need to change it. I'm going to move everything.
Yeah, I've definitely never done that.
Yeah, I've done that regularly. Like, I will destroy the room and rearrange everything. Like, it's not even like, hey, go clean your room. It's more like I'm standing there looking at it and I'm going like, I cannot stand this arrangement anymore. I'm rearranging the whole thing for no good reason,
Right.
just other than to just do it. And that would be a thing. And I do it by myself, like beds, dressers, fucking whatever. Want me to remove? I can move refrigerators, fucking ovens, washers up and down stairs. Like, I've done all that shit by myself.
Mm.
Just is not. It's just not a thing I would ask for help for until I go to failure and then can't do it.
Right.
So anyway, that was the big thing, was doing the mulch this weekend.
Yeah.
The only other thing I have in my notes is it's baseball time. It's like, it's official for me. After the weather started to get kind of nice, it started to be like, all right, now I'm like listening to this kind of the spring training games, kind of listening to them in background, like kind of get this the home openers on the 31st, so it's next week. So now it's like,
Oh, damn.
yeah. So now it's like getting real. Like, all right, baseball's coming. Like, all right, baseball means summer, means more warmer weather, just like generally happier Dave.
Yep.
And Kathy got me this fucking awesome
Oh, that's
wallet.
nice.
Nice. That's pretty sick.
So it's a wallet made out of a fucking baseball glove.
Yeah.
That's badass.
Yeah. And
Show the people.
yeah. And
I hope you guys can see that.
I love baseball. So it's
Oh,
like
you can smell it too.
yeah, that's the best part.
Yeah.
Is it smells like a baseball glove.
Yeah.
Right? And I want to fucking put neat's foot oil on it and like loosen it up like I would a regular baseball glove. The smell.
Yeah. Makes me think of being a kid.
Yeah, and it there is no doubt in your mind that this was a baseball glove at one time. So very, very cool. And it's just got me even closer to the baseball feeling.
Yeah.
Because that's baseball is summer. For me, it's warmer weather. It's summer. It's everything. Of course, it'll fucking snow or something. I'll be there like, I think we're going on Wednesday next week for one of the opening weekends, or the opening games, and it'll be fucking snowing or some shit. Our first year having the Sunday season ticket package, they had a season ticket party, I guess, for season ticket holders, and it was legit snowing while we were there. I was like, I'm at a baseball game and it's snowing. Like I'm in hell. Like this is not what we're supposed to be doing for a baseball game.
It's like, oh, you want baseball?
Right.
Here's snow.
Yeah, here's some snow. Like that is my hell. Cold would be my hell.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not hell. It's baseball time.
All right.
I'm ready. That's it.
All right.
Nick?
Yeah, what you been doing?
What you been doing the past, I don't know, like fucking 2.5 years or however long it's been since we saw you?
Yeah, as far as like the last week or so, like other than we were talking about earlier, like skipping out on my shrink, which don't recommend that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that.
But yeah, other than that, I've been going through just a shit ton of video footage from the Budapest trip, putting together a video for one of our songs.
Nice.
And then not yesterday, but the previous Sunday, I took my youngest son, 14, to his very first rock show.
Oh, no
we
shit.
We went to see Seven Dust. Met up with Luna Girl and Dragon Buddy up there.
Nice.
And he had a blast, man. We were like right up front on the rail.
Oh damn.
He got a couple picks from the show, from one from Clint Lowry from Seven Dust, and one from the band before them, Horizon Theory.
Mm-hmm.
So he had a blast. It was already saying like, when are we gonna go again? So it was cool.
Nice.
It was cool to. I mean, I've seen Seven Dust more times than I can count, but it was cool to kind of share that experience of his first show. So it was awesome.
He's probably seen Seven Dust more times than most people see concerts in their entire lifetime.
Yeah, probably.
Really?
Yeah. I stopped counting now how many times I've seen them.
Yeah.
Because that's one of those bands where anytime they come through town, if it's around here, I'm going. Like
they're like your Grateful Dead.
Yeah, like every single tour they come. Like I'll either go to, they hit up Jersey Starland Ballroom a lot. I saw them last year in Atlantic City at the Tropicana Ballroom. I don't like that venue. They played there again this year, the night before I saw them in Stroudsburg.
Mm.
I just don't like that, dude. Something about seats at a rock show.
It's kind of dumb.
I like an open floor.
I'm surprised they don't. Is the House of Blues still in Atlantic City? Is that because that was in the Showboat? I don't know if it's still down there, but we go down and see Flogging Molly like every year. It was kind of like part of our me and my cousins. It was a thing we did for St. Patty's Day. Put our kilts on and go and fucking get hurt in mosh pits.
Nice.
And,
You really put kilts on?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Just asking.
Yeah, and the House of Blues there, they have like the seating area, but it's like elevated, and then most of it, like the GA, is all like in the floor. So nobody. It's one of those things where like, who wants to fucking sit in the seats?
Yeah.
Like maybe my 50-year. I'm almost at that point where I'd probably want to like, I just need to sit down for a little bit. I'm not there yet,
Dude. And trust me, because we got there early. I did because his first show. I wanted to be kind of special, so we did the VIP, the meet and greet, and everything before. So we showed up at like 2:00 in the afternoon.
Oh damn.
And then the sound check and the meet and greet was at like 2:30, 3:00, and then doors didn't open until 6 for the show.
Oh shit.
And then so because we had VIP, we get early entry at when 15 minutes before doors. So we're right up on the rail there at 6:00, And then Seven Dust didn't play until 9:30 over at like 11.
Damn.
So we were on our feet that whole time. And let me tell you, like you were talking, like stand on your feet for that long, not being able to sit down, not even really being able to move all that much because there's people around. My feet and my back were just killing me.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's one of those things where I'm like, I know I'm going to pay for this tomorrow.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of these aging stories today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
Getting old and body pains and aches and.
Oh, like I said, we're talking about the testament to how much we can actually push through.
Yeah.
Because we want something, and so we can push through it. It's when you can't push through it is when you really feel like oh fuck, this is it. This is the end.
So before we
what you got there?
before we jump into anything else,
You distracted us by pulling out some manila
I
folder.
did bring a little something.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Dave, before we left for Budapest, already got a CD. I
did.
stopped
Yes.
by.
Yeah.
I was very jealous.
So I brought along a CD for
Oh
you.
shit. Well, thank you, sir.
It's good. I can take mine home now.
Yes.
And then got a little autograph poster for you guys.
Oh,
Got
hell
the
yeah.
Signatures of all the boys.
Fucking sweet.
Oh, that's awesome.
Got to figure out some place to hang it in here.
How long did you practice your signature for that?
It's honestly
It's a good signature.
it's different than my actual payroll signature, but not by a ton. I changed it up intentionally because I don't want to use my payroll signature on my
Right.
autographs.
Makes sense, yeah.
But yeah, it's. And then
fucking
I
awesome.
ran out of actual lanyards, but you know, in the case where we're playing a show on the East Coast and you guys want to stop in, got you guys some.
Oh, look at that!
VIP
Their names on
band.
Fucking all access, bitches.
Fucking A, right?
Look at that.
Yes.
Be jealous, motherfuckers.
That's right.
Ah,
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
sweet. Yeah, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
That's great. So, that's a good segue to just roll right into our main topic today,
Yeah.
and that's just to talk to Nick about the band and.
All right. Well,
Yep.
before Nick starts,
Mhm.
I have to pee. Like,
Of course you do.
Sounds good.
like, yeah, I gotta pee.
All right. So we'll take a quick break before we start talking about Till the End, and be back after this very quick word from our sponsors.
Colt 45, it's a dynamite taste, it's a grin, it's a groove, it's a blast. Colt 45, it's a dynamite taste, it's a win, it's a definite blast. Colt 45, loaded with dynamite taste. So grab one, down one, get yourself around one. Colt 45, malt liquor, Colt 45, it's a dynamite taste.
For real.
Booyah.
If you guys are playing on the East Coast and I wear this, I get full access.
Well, yes and no. Like the venue honestly doesn't give a shit about those.
Right.
So if you did want to come, you just gotta let me know ahead of time and I can guest list you guys.
All right. Now I don't want to jump the gun and talk about something that we're going to talk about during the main topic. So, oh fuck. All right, let's see what we missed in the chat. Oh, apparently somebody from Foggy Molly had a brain aneurysm.
Ouch.
Yeah. So, Seven Dust. That's another band that I'm not too familiar with. That's what it was. It was fucking Tool was the last time you were here.
There you go.
Yeah, it was Tool because you guys gave me the education in Tool
Yep.
last time. Well, now you might have to give me an education in Seven Dust because I'm not really too familiar with them.
I mean, you're talking, from 1997, their original album came out, like the start of the whole like new metal scene.
Yeah.
Although it's weird because I don't really consider Seven Dust to be new metal. They get lumped into new metal a lot, but
Yeah.
I don't particularly see them as new metal, but yes, there's new metal elements in what they do, but there's also things that they do that are very not new metal, like they play guitar solos occasionally, which new metal traditionally doesn't have guitar solos.
Really?
There is, while there's not like, it's not like Limp Bizkit levels of rap. There are some elements of rap in their music, but it's more rock focused than Limp Bizkit was.
Okay, we're talking Seven Dust because I myself am not too familiar with them. So
Oh, dude, they're good.
Since '97, on average, every 2 years they've put out an album.
Yeah, pretty
There's-
consistently.
There's
Yeah.
a vast library to go through.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some I like more than others. There's certain albums that I don't really play a lot, and then there's other albums I play heavily. But I don't think they've ever put out a bad album. I think there's just certain albums that just don't hit me the same as some of the other ones.
Yeah, makes sense. They can't all be gems.
Yeah.
So, we ready to get back into it?
We are.
Oh, before we start, actually, no, we'll say it after we start. Go ahead. And we're back.
Such a good
So,
of the fucking DL44. Dude, this company with the makes the Legos guns. Sorry, we're distracted by toys.
yeah, no, that's fine. Always got to stop for Legos. We realized while you were taking a piss when the last time Nick was here. It was
Okay.
the Tool episode.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm like, because we were starting to talk about Seven Dust, and then I'm like, Tool, that's why you were here last.
Ah, very good.
Yeah.
Glad your memory was.
It eventually got there.
Yeah, that penguin finally came to the surface.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. Well, we're here now.
How are we gonna do this? Like we just AMA, like just,
Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of which, if anybody in the chat has any questions for Nick about the band himself, anything, throw them out there, and we'll ask those too. But yeah, they're pretty much just going to kind of freestyle a little bit, ask you some questions about the band and what you guys are up to, and
we should have, if Lunar Girl can collect those questions and drop them into my notes, that would be probably the easiest thing to do.
Well, the best thing to do would to have planned this out a week ago and actually ask questions, throughout the week on our social media.
Hey,
but-
listen, the fact that we actually lined up a guest and had like some semblance of an idea of doing something, come on, we should be.
We should be commended.
My penis is so smooth.
By the way, Chris Forsyth in the chat is not saying very kind things about Tool.
It's a shame. Shame feel that way.
yeah.
Okay, well, we've already got a question, and I know the answer to this already, but maybe some of the people out there don't. Nick, did you play in high school?
So, I actually started out in high school band as a drummer.
Yeah.
I forget how old I was, but yeah, I played drums for several years in high school band, and then right around when grunge was hitting, Nirvana, I kind of got the itch to play guitar.
Okay.
Just because before that I was more of a metalhead. I was into like 80s Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, and shit like that. So I'd see these guys like Mustaine and Eddie Van Halen and Yngwie Malmsteen and shit, like doing just this superhuman shit.
Yeah.
And I was just like, these guys are larger than life. I could never do that.
Right.
And then when grunge came along, and I see Kurt up there, and he wasn't a technical whiz on a guitar,
No.
but he wrote good songs. And I was watching him up there, and I'm like, that dude's not doing anything crazy. Like I could do that.
Yeah.
And it made me want to pick up a guitar. So like, it was like 15, 16-year-old Swede, saved up my money and went down and bought a guitar and just basically taught myself how to play by watching videos of the bands playing the songs, or I learned how to read tab.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't read music or anything. Like I can't read sheet music, but like I can read tabs, and then like I said, I'll watch people play stuff to figure out how to play things sometimes. Yeah, so I started at 15, 16.
And it was all self-taught, huh? No
Never took lessons
no teachers.
or anything. No.
Damn.
So how common is that for people to pick up music just by hearing it and then like turning it into something like, because I would imagine the benefit to being able to read sheet music would be consistency.
Yeah.
Right? You're not having to remember constantly like, okay, this is how I played this before. Like, because I would imagine like you play hundreds of different songs.
Yeah.
Like, because you played cover stuff. I mean, we had the music video that we did with you. Was it 2 years ago? How long ago was that?
Probably like two and change.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, I don't have that musical ability, but the idea of trying to keep track of all that, like from what I hear, and then turn it back into the same thing, and then like make it repeatable. Like, is that?
It's so. I mean, for me, as far as like I'll learn a song. Like I've forgotten how to play more songs than I know how to play.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it is repetition. Like you play something enough and you remember how to play it, but then it's a perishable thing. Like you don't do it for a while, you forget how to play it.
Yeah.
So like I say a lot of times that I know how to play a lot of parts of songs, but playing the song all the way through, I got to sit down and figure it out again.
Right.
Because like there's some songs where a certain riff is just so memorable that I remember how to play it.
Yeah.
Even if I haven't played it for 10 years. But to remember how to play the entire song, that's different. I got to sit down and do it. So there's very few songs that I don't have to sit down and think about if I want to play it. There are a few just because I've played them so many times over the years that it's just burned into my brain.
Any from those early days that you can still play all the way through?
I mean, I can still play a lot of the Nirvana stuff all the way through.
Yeah.
Just because that's what I grew up learning. That's how I learned how to play, was a lot of Nirvana.
Yeah.
So I played those songs so many times, and they're fairly simple songs to learn and play. So I still remember how to play a lot of those things. Once you start getting into the more like like I said, I was a metalhead, so like getting back into that kind of stuff, I don't remember how to play a lot of those songs all the way through without sitting down and like, how did that go again? And then I gotta sit there and figure it out. And like I said, if I need to, I'll pull up a tab for it. But the problem with tabs, especially online, is you're going off the accuracy of whoever tabbed it out. Like if they're playing it right, then the tabs are good. But if they're playing it wrong, now you're playing it wrong. And I found a ton of like inaccurate tabs online sometimes, where I'll look at like different sites to see, okay, that doesn't seem right. Let me look at another one, and then I'll play it. Okay, that's right.
All right, let me ask a dumb question. What's a tab?
Okay, so tab is it's set up kind of like a sheet music. You got your lines. But instead of music notes on the thing, it'll give you numbers.
Okay.
And those numbers correspond to what fret on what string you should be putting your fingers on.
Okay. So it's almost more like a pointy talkie type thing for where your hand physically should be.
Yeah. So like this
is a good example, I think, right?
Yeah. So you got your 6 lines, which correspond to your 6 strings.
Right.
So like for this would be your 3rd string is open. Your 4th string, you're going to be on fret 2. Your 5th string, you're going to be on fret 3, and your 6th string is going to be open. Or well, actually, it's opposite. It's your high string is your 1st string. your low string is your 6th string. So like open 3 2 open, and that's a D chord.
Yeah, it's basically telling you where to put your fingers for that particular.
Yeah, and then like a lot of tabs will do this, like D. Okay, so I know this is a D chord, and you're just picking individual strings instead of strumming it.
Okay.
And then that's a C, add 9, and then so like if you learn the shapes and where they're at, like you can just look at that and go, okay, I need to play a C, add 9. I need to play a D. I need to play an A.
Okay.
So that's kind of how I learned how to play a lot of stuff. And like I said, some of it's by sight. Some of it I'll just listen to a song and kind of feel out, oh, okay, that's where this is.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
No, I was laughing a little earlier about Lunar Girl's question.
Oh, was it the who's your biggest fan and why has it been 34 years?
Yeah.
Right. And who was your first fangirl?
Yeah.
I think we can all figure out who the answer to that question would be.
Mm-hmm. So, getting back to the band Till the End. So, how did this all come about? Because I know you were doing Swede Studios.
Yep.
You were doing all your cover songs with a various amount of people across the world. Then all of a sudden, this happened.
Yep. So, in order to tell you that story, I have to bring you back to the dewy fields of 2003. Yeah, 2003 in Arizona. I was in a metal band out there called Slaves for Scores, and my singer at that point in time is the current singer of this band.
Okay.
We've remained friends over the years. Talk here and there, and this all started. I guess it was back in like 2022 timeframe. We had the idea of getting back together with that band and re-recording some of our old stuff.
Yeah, I think I remember you talking about that.
Because I got through the Swede Studios thing, I got into mixing and recording, and we never really got great recordings of those old. We have some demo versions that were up online, but I wanted to like give some of these songs just like a proper treatment in the studio.
Yeah.
So the original idea was we all got together and chatted, and we were gonna. The original idea was kind of grand. We were gonna record our whole album again.
Oh wow.
But things didn't progress as quickly as we would have liked, and it ended up taking us almost a year to get one song done.
Oh damn.
And it just me and him seemed to be the ones that were like really committed to getting it done, and some of the other guys, like we actually our drummer, we never really got him involved to the point where he would sit down and record the drums, so we ended up getting somebody else to record the drums. My bass player, he had, in his defense, he had a lot of shit going on that year.
Mm-hmm.
He lost his son to suicide. He had shit going on.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I ended up recording the bass for that song. And then the other guitar player, he ended up finally recording his bits and doing the solo and everything. And I put it all together and mixed everything, and we put that out. And then I don't remember how long it was after that, but he called me one day. I don't remember. I was driving. I remember that. I don't remember where I was going, but I remember he called me and he said, you got a few minutes to talk. And I was like, yeah, what's going on? He's like, hey, so, I got this thing going on with one of my other guys that I've played in bands with. Anthony he's the hub in this band. Like, so everybody in the band, he was in a band with at some point in time.
Okay.
So he's like, I got this thing I'm working on with this other guitar player. He's like, he doesn't really have a bass. He's like, I know you have a bass. Would you want to record bass and mix this? Because he's like, what you did with the Slaves thing was really good.
Yeah.
So he's like, if you want to record bass and mix it. And at that point in time, I didn't get that this was like actually going to be a band.
Right.
I thought this was just a thing he was doing, and we're I was gonna lay down some bass and mix it and then give it to him.
Be a one-time thing, and
here's this little side project he's doing or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like we did like several songs where like I recorded the bass and basically mixed the demos. And then he starts talking about like, oh yeah, I got a drummer in mind that we're gonna record the drums, because the original songs, when Costas, the other guitar player, when he writes, he basically just programs the drums, like just electronic drums.
Mm.
And then that's what we kind of record everything to. And then after all that is set, we give it to Martin, our drummer, and he lays down whatever drums. We basically take the drums out and we hand it to him and say, hey, record some drums for this.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, we got this drummer in this other band I was in. And then like we started talking about like, oh yeah, we're gonna, get some shows, and I'm like, all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute, this is like a band. This is like a real thing we're gonna do.
Am I in a band? When did this happen?
So yeah, like from the start, I didn't think it was gonna be a band. I thought this was just a little side project he was doing, and yeah, it just turned out to be a band, and we just went to fucking Budapest and played a show.
Yeah. So how does that work? How do you get booked for a show in Budapest? Like,
well, so our drummer Martin, he lives in Hungary.
Mm.
All of the other guys in the band they've been in other touring bands in the past. Anthony and Martin were in a band called Armageddon, which was, not a huge band, but a known band in the metal scene.
Yeah.
Especially over in Europe. Europe metal is a lot bigger than it is here.
I can see that.
Yeah. So they're known. Costas was in a band with Anthony called Crystal Tears, and then what was the other band? Mystic Prophets or something like that.
Love these band names.
I know, right?
And so like all those guys, there's some name recognition there. Anthony was in Night Rage, which was another pretty big metal band, especially like I said over in Europe. So there's name recognition there. Martin also played drums for Orgy, which
Another great name.
Yeah. Not really a metal band, but like they're actually pretty well known. But he kind of like he was touring with them. I don't know if he's still doing anything with them or not. It's been a couple years, I think, since he did some tours with them. But yeah, there's name recognition there. Plus, he lives there, so he knows people in the scene. So we basically he set up a show with another Hungarian metal band, and there was gonna be 3 bands, all local Hungarian bands. We were gonna play second, and then they were gonna headline. And then the venue kind of changed it up. They're like, no, we'd rather have, since they're coming, from outside. Meaning us, we're not a Hungarian band,
right?
They wanted to have a more well-known headliner. So the third band ended up getting cut off. We opened the show. That band From the Sky was second, and then they got and it was weird because it was like an old school punk band that was the headliner, but they're well known over there in Hungary, Junkies.
Wonder if Bob knows them.
Maybe.
But they were celebrating the 25th anniversary of one of their albums. So they've been around, and they're very well known in Hungary. So the venue was like, I think it'd be better to have a well-known name be the headliner, get more people in the door, rather than, nobody knows who the hell we are.
Right,
yeah,
right.
So
that makes sense.
But yeah, that's how we were originally with this plan. We were trying to tack on Costas, the other guitar players from Greece. We were trying to tack on a Greece show as well, but just timing of things didn't work out. We would have had to stay over there for like 2 weeks, and it just wasn't going to work out. So
yeah,
we ended up playing one show and done, but we did a lot of shit over there. In the 4 or 5 days we were there, we were busy.
Yeah, I bet.
All right, I got a couple questions from the studio audience.
Yeah.
The first one is probably a little bit harder one. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
What do you mean, African or European?
The next one is...
We should have done a Monty Python bit at the start of the show.
We should have. We did that.
We did one, yeah.
Yeah.
I know the members of Till the End are spread out across country and in Europe. will we be getting together in the States for any venues in the future?
That is the plan right now. It's all dependent on when those guys can afford to come over here.
Mm-hmm.
But the plan right now is hopefully later this year, summertime, maybe a little bit later, playing at least a New York City show, and then trying to do something in the Philly, Jersey area, depending. Honestly, to make it worth it, we have to jump on something that's, well known, because nobody knows who the fuck we are.
Right.
So nobody's gonna come out to a show for Till the End because they don't know us.
Right.
So we have to jump on either with a well-known local band, or try and jump on like an actual national tour that's rolling through town.
Yeah.
But then you get into like possibly having to pay to get on the slot. Is it worth it, kind of thing.
Right. So I guess kind of backing up a little bit, what are you guys looking at as far as like a grand vision for what you want to do with this band?
I mean, obviously the end goal is to get some label interest to help us out with getting on the tours and the shows and festivals and shit like that.
Okay.
Because right now we're doing everything on our own. So,
yeah.
We're footing the bill to travel, to, buy merch, and, obviously I'm doing all the studio work for everything. So, right now there's no paychecks for anything. It's just, we're just, we're
doing
investing,
it out of passion right now.
We're investing in ourselves to try and hopefully gain attention. And, deals with record companies aren't what they used to be. Like they want to see that you are willing to put in the work yourself before they'll, step in and
you have
take the risk.
I guess because the way social media is and everything else, like they want to see that you have established a following.
Yeah. They want to see you do it yourself.
Right. And
like the days of an A&R guy going to a club and seeing a band and going, we're going to sign them.
Mm-hmm.
That's over.
The Wayne's World, fucking.
That shit don't happen no more. Like they want to see you do it yourself, and then, have results, and then go, okay, these guys have something, and they're doing the work, and now we'll help them.
Right.
But for that help, they want their piece of the pie too.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sure most of their revenue is from streaming these days as opposed to record sales.
Well, that's the thing. Like, so that was going to be my next question. Like, where, as a trying to turn this into a money-making thing, right? For lack of a better term, because talking is easy for me today. Where's the money? Like, where do you actually go? Where do musicians these days, like, where's the money made? Like, because in the past, it's like, okay, it's not really about selling records. It's about the tour, right? You would make money on the tour, or is it vice versa? Like,
in all honesty,
merch.
This is where your money is merch.
No shit.
Streaming sucks. You get shit. Like Spotify, unless you're getting millions of streams, you're not getting paid shit. Like even to start even getting paid, you need to have your song needs to have over 1,000 streams in the past year. So if you hit that 1,000 streams, at that point you start getting paid per stream, but it's like fractions of a cent per stream. And then if at any point you fall below 1,000 streams in the previous 12 months, you stop getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to keep your stuff getting seen and listened to, and you have to have big numbers to make any kind of real money.
Mm-hmm.
I've like the Slaves for Scores thing, like different songs that I've had up on Spotify for like years. I've gotten like $3 or $4, and so it's a matter of like numbers. You got to have a lot of people listening to your stuff to make any kind of money on streaming. Shows, again, right now we're footing the bill for travel, for all this shit. So like if you get paid for a show, it's it's enough to like buy lunch the next day kind of thing,
Right.
and get to the next date, So you're not making much money there unless you're a huge band.
Mm-hmm.
So it's merch is where you got to make your money. And then, you get venues that want to take a cut of your merch.
Oh, of course.
And it's like, you have different, like certain venues have what you have, like, artists sell or vendors or venue sell, to where like the venue might have people that are, employed to sell merch.
Yeah.
So like you count in your merch with them at the beginning of the show. And then at the end of the show, you count out. And then, okay, this is how much you sold. This is how much you made. Now we get a cut of that. I get that because they're doing work.
Right. They're paying employees.
But what I don't agree with is if it's an artist sell where I have my wife or somebody sitting behind a table selling stuff, and then you want to take a cut of that. Why? Because you gave me a fucking folding table to set up on?
Right.
Like, I don't agree with that.
And if that table was just outside the gate, you'd probably be selling just as much, and you wouldn't have to give them shit.
Yeah. So I don't like that some venues will try to do that. They'll try, it's like, dude, this is the only vehicle we have to make money, and now you want to take some of that too. Like, come on.
So what I hear is that the only real reason to fucking do this would be because it's fucking, you enjoy it.
You want to do it.
Yeah. Like being a musician, it's not you can't be in it for the money.
Unless you're fucking Metallica or Taylor Swift, you don't do it because you want to get rich, because it's not going to happen.
Right.
Well, how the fuck did they get rich?
They get lucky.
Yeah, they came up in a different time.
It's just
and then you add to it like the genre of music we're playing is not the popular genre.
Well, yeah, I mean it's
so we're already in a very small niche, and then you add to that like everybody else taking the money,
right.
Spotify making billions of dollars and paying their artists shit,
Yeah. It's funny because I don't have any ability at all, but on my mom's side of the family, they're all musicians. Like my Aunt Maureen, she was a singer, and she was in bands like in the 70s, right? 70, 80, like have these like pictures, like these pictures, but like with disco, right? And she's, she was in the band with fucking 70s outfits and all the other shit. But again, there was no money.
Yeah.
And when she was singing, like her and her husband, when they moved down to New Orleans, like she had a job at the Gap. I mean, they were down there to be musicians, but she had a job at the Gap.
Yeah.
Right, as a manager at the Gap. Like it wasn't something that there was their primary means. Yeah. And my uncle, my mom's brother, he played. He had a long-standing gig at a place down in Sea Isle, the Rage Band, and they had, like, I don't know, probably a decade and a half, maybe even 20 years. They played like they were a regular band down the shore, and they had a really good following. And I don't think they made any money doing that either.
Honestly,
it was like
the crazy thing about like the music industry and bands is like, you can make a much better living being a cover band than an original band, because like
play at weddings and shit.
Yeah, weddings and parties and shit like that, or just an event where somebody wants to have a band, like they'll hire and pay a good cover band that's going to play all these songs that everybody wants to hear. But like the appetite for original bands, especially bands that people don't know, it's very small.
That's
so
a shame.
yeah, if you wanna like support bands, not just us, but any bands, like especially smaller bands, like buy T-shirts, buy CDs, anything, any kind of merch that the band is offering, buy that stuff, and that's how you help them out the most.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Going back a little bit, so you guys are starting to form the band together. You're starting to realize like, hey, this is something real, or you're starting to realize like, hey, this might be real.
This is real.
So how quickly are you starting to churn out songs at this point? Because I know you mentioned with the previous band, it took you a year just to make the one song. But once you guys got together and realized like this was a thing, like how quick was that process?
Honestly, so it was. So we formed the band in 2023, and then we started releasing music at the tail end of 2024. So it was roughly a year-ish from when we started actually like, recording music to when we started releasing music. But some of the original songs that we started to work on actually didn't end up on this EP. They'll be on the full length that we're working on. But so like even those first few songs we worked on didn't end up on this. So, it took a little while to get the first few songs rolling. But like Costas that dude's like he's a phenomenal guitar player, first of all.
Yeah, I was watching the video. I think it was the Cemetery Trees where he's going crazy on the guitar. He's like doing his hand upside down and
he's insane.
Yeah.
But he's like a songwriting machine. So like songs just fall out of his head. Like he just sits down with a guitar and songs come out. And I've never been that guy. Like I'm more of a collaborator. Like I'll have a riff and I'll have somebody play something and then I could do this to that. Like that's kind of how I've always written. But he'll just churn out songs. So he'll write a song and like I said, he'll program the drums out and he'll write a song and then bring that to the band and be like, there might be some like, a little bit of back and forth as far as composition, like, let's make this section a little bit longer, or let's, move a part here or there. But for the most part, he's just bringing up these songs
and lyrics and all, huh?
So Anthony handles all the. So once Costas writes a song, we'll give it to Anthony. He'll write the lyrics and the vocals. He'll record that stuff. Once the vocals are set down, then he'll send it to me. I'll record the bass. I'll mix everything as is at that point, and then we remove the drums, give it to Martin. Martin will come up with his drums, and then once we have like a demo, then we'll actually start recording the actual real, like, Costas at that point. Costas will usually go back and re-record a lot of the guitars because like he'll hear something and be like, I think this would sound a little bit better. So it's kind of like an ongoing process, like that cyclical thing where like, okay, here's the song and now we're going to re-record it. And then we get to the end and we're like, oh, well, like what the video that we were talking about earlier, like, I think it was Martin was like, I think this would sound really good if we had some like keyboards and synth in it. And we're all like, I don't know. I think I like it the way it is. And he happened to have a buddy that over there in Hungary that he plays keyboards. So we gave it to him and he came back with some shit. And as soon as we heard it, it was like, fuck, that's way better.
Shit, you were right.
It's just shit like that. Like, somebody will hear something and be like, I think this would work if we tried this.
Yeah.
So it's like, everybody's kind of got their hands in it. Even though Costas is the main songwriter, everybody kind of puts their inputs in. And dude, there's no egos, which is great.
Yeah.
So all this stuff you're talking about, like one thing that you're not talking about is how none of you are close to each other at all. Like physically, like you're spread out throughout the world.
So
to do this collaboration.
I'm here. Anthony, he was living in Ohio.
Okay.
He actually came out to the studio once, and we recorded some stuff, did some video stuff for I think it was for Cemetery Trees. And then Costas is in Greece, Martin's in Hungary. So when we went to Budapest, that was the first time we'd all been in the same room together.
Oh, no shit.
We had never met. I'd never met half the band face to face. Like throughout writing and recording, like we did video chats and shit. So like, you get an idea of what people are like and whatnot. But like you never really know until you're like in a room with somebody. Are you gonna vibe? Anything. And dude, it was. I swear it was like we'd known each other forever. Like we got to Budapest. We went out to dinner, which was honestly, I think that was awesome that the first day we didn't do anything. You know, we got settled in the hotel and we all went out to dinner.
Yeah.
And, you know, we just, you know, started drinking some beers and bullshitting and telling stories. And then the next day was when we had our first rehearsal together.
Okay.
So I think that just that first night of kind of getting together, having some beers, feeling each other out, I thought that was like a big piece of why we gelled so quickly. Like,
yeah. And then when you get up on stage, chemistry all there, and
it was. I mean, we had like one full day of rehearsal the day before the show, and then the next day we played the show. That was
yeah. So you're up there on that first show. How you feeling?
So like right off we had technical difficulties.
Oh no.
Off the start because we don't have a bass player at the moment. I record the bass for the album, but on stage I'm playing rhythm guitar.
Yeah.
So all of our bass is being played through backing tracks. All of the keyboard stuff, that's all going through backing tracks. But we had everything synced up with the backing tracks, and we had at that venue they had a big video board in the back.
Mm-hmm.
So once we saw that they had that video board and we could use it, we're like, well, rather than just having our banner behind us, we should come up with some video shit to put behind us.
Yeah, yeah.
So I synced all that stuff up. We came up with videos for like different videos for each song. I synced all that up to the music, and we got there day of show, and the video guy hands me an HDMI cable. I hook it into the laptop, and the shit wouldn't work. It would like flash for a second and then turn off, and then it would flash and then turn off. So he brings his laptop in there, plugs it in, works just fine. I don't know why it just didn't like my laptop for whatever reason. So now I'm freaking out. I'm like, fuck. You know, how are we gonna, you know? So I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. Just put our logo up there, and we'll just play with a static logo.
Yeah.
I was like, at this point, we had already sound checked, and I was like, I got to go change because sound check always works in reverse order. So like the headliner sound checks first, then we did our sound check, and then we had like 30 minutes before doors open.
Yeah.
So I was like, dude, I gotta go change. And I'm getting ready to change, and like they come in, they're like, hey, could you give us the video files, and then we'll manually hit play at the start of each song. And I was like, I don't know how well that's gonna work because the timing of everything, everything was synced up to the backing tracks. So
yeah.
I was like, you know what? If you want to give it a shot, cool. I don't know how well it's gonna work. But the dude did a great job. Like outside of like the intro song was a little bit off just because of the timing. I had added like 5 seconds of silence before anything started.
Mhm.
So there was like 3 to 5 seconds off, but to somebody that doesn't know our music and doesn't know the show, they probably didn't notice anything. Me knowing because I programmed everything, I was like, fuck, that's off.
Damn it.
But yeah, so like going into the show, I was already fucking like my nerves were fried because of that whole thing.
Mhm.
And then I hadn't done that shit in 20 years.
Yeah.
Like it had been since, 2000, like I think 2005, 2006 was our last show with Slaves for Scores.
Yeah.
And I outside of playing the celebration, the little acoustic gig I did,
Celebration.
I hadn't been on a stage in 20 years. So, there was that nerves of fuck. Like, and then you look out and there's people out there.
Yeah,
like,
don't fuck this up.
shit.
Don't
Yeah,
fuck this up.
exactly. No, don't fuck it up. But then, once we started playing, we got a song or two in, I was grooving.
Yeah, I mean, the videos I saw, like everyone looked like you were a fucking band up there, fucking jamming. It just everything looked fucking legit.
Yeah, and we've gotten a lot of like decent press from online magazine type shit. Like we had,
Yeah, I saw that one post, and I'm like, I don't know what language this is.
Yeah, there was a lot of there's a lot of foreign ones that are giving us some press, but we have had some US ones. Decibel did a feature on our on the Cemetery Trees release.
Nice.
Or no, Decibel was the EP release.
Okay.
They had like an exclusive for a couple days before it released on Spotify.
Nice.
And then like Metal Injection, it wasn't a feature, but they listed us on their weekly releases.
Nice.
And then for the next video, the Sumerian, there's a website called No Clean Singing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's decent metal metal blog magazine. But they're gonna do the Cemetery Trees release. So we've gotten some decent press, and then there was the one that just released. I think it was yesterday. It was like a kind of like a rundown of the live show, and yeah, they said a lot of good stuff. Like basically saying like you could tell that these guys it wasn't their first go around, like they're seasoned musicians, and I'm like, well, yes and no.
Just don't argue. Just be like, yeah, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, we have done this before. It may have been a while, but we have all done that before.
Yeah.
That is, like I said, it can't, for just knowing that you hadn't gotten together physically, having the benefit of technology now too, like being able to, all right, you're going to send me your track and be able to, like, I don't have to put this on Medium and putting it in the mail and send it to you. And now you have a reel to reel that you're fucking cutting. No, you're getting these files and you're able to actually work the music.
The digital age, man.
Yeah.
And the one thing I had no questions about whatsoever was the musicianship. Like everybody's on point. Everybody knows what the fuck they're doing. And we had been because we're playing to a click track. We know timing wise we're not going to have an issue because the drummer's playing to a click track and then we're all playing to him.
Yeah.
So prior to, what I had done is I had taken the recordings and then I just made custom mixes for everybody to practice to. So I would take the mix and I would remove the drums and I would give that to Martin and say, hey, practice to this.
Oh.
And then I would take out the rhythm guitars and that would be my mix. I would take out the vocals and I would give it to Anthony. So everybody had their own custom mix that they played along to for practice.
That's brilliant.
But like I said, you don't know how you're going to gel with each other until you're in a room together.
Yeah.
So it was just thankfully like everybody was cool. And like that was one of the things that Anthony said when he put this thing together is he's been in a bunch of different bands and he's like, I wanted to put a band together with people I want to hang out with like all the people in bands that I played with that like they're my brothers. I love these guys. It wasn't who's the best fucking, this or the best that, like it was who do I want to fucking hang out with and jam with?
Yeah.
And that's not saying that people like Costas is fucking insane and Martin is amazing. Like these guys, like I look at myself as like the weak link in this band.
The imposter syndrome.
Yeah. Dude, I 100% had that shit because I was looking at like, fuck, these guys have done this. Like the biggest thing I'd ever done playing in the band in Arizona was like, we'd go on a day trip to like fucking California or like, Northern Arizona and we'd play a show and then we'd come back.
Yeah.
These guys have been on fucking tours. Like these guys have gone all around fucking Asia and Europe and like they've done this thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've never done this thing. So like there was a lot of that imposter syndrome leading up to it where I was like, dude, I don't belong in this thing. But like I said, everybody got along, everybody fucking played great. Dude, it was phenomenal.
Any crazy stories you can talk about during those Budapest shows?
Honestly, like there wasn't a ton of like I said, we got there on I think we got there on Wednesday. And then like I said, settled in the hotel, went out and had dinner, got to know each other a little bit. Next day it was fucking rehearsal and photo shoot because we didn't have pictures of us all together.
No band photos.
Yeah. So like our only band photos was that, like where we had taken individual pictures of ourselves and put them together. But so we wanted actual photos of our the whole group together. And then we rehearsed all day, went out to dinner again, and the next day was show day.
Yeah.
And then that night we finally like went out and like we kind of partied a little bit after that. Like we had some fun. We found it was this metal like dive bar, like it was underground. some crazy shit there. We had
Some Hungarian dive bar.
Oh God, I could only imagine.
It was nuts, man. Like, so we're all there. Like, we had like an L-shaped fucking booth around the corner, and we're like, I don't even know how many of us there was, because like Kostas had brought his wife and some people from Greece, and then there was the Hungarian contingent that was there.
Mm-hmm.
There must have been like 30 people sitting at this table.
Holy shit!
And this the owner comes over with this chick. We found out later she actually works there, but she like this blue-haired chick, and she comes over, and the owner comes up, and he's like, "Hey," and he's like pointing at my singer. His wife is sitting right next to him.
Oh boy!
And he's like, "Hey, she wants to do a shot with you. She wants to have a drink with you." And then he's like, dude, nah, like. He's like, my wife will kill me. Like, I can't do that. And like, she, bless her heart, she was like oblivious to what was going on, and he's like what? And then like, so like he keeps, oh no, come over and have a shot with her. And like, I'm sitting there, I'm looking at my wife, and I'm like, is she serious?
Is this really happening?
Like, does she just not give a shit that like?
Yeah.
And so finally, like, Anna, his wife, kind of realizes what's going on. And like, I don't know how it happened, but all of a sudden it was just like, yeah, let's go do a shot. And like the whole band and Anna and my wife, we all went up and was like, let's do shots. Like,
you all went.
Yeah. So what turned out from like her doing a shot with him, whoever was paying for the shots, whether it was the owner or her, I don't know, but they ended up paying for like 8 or 9 shots. So they got a little bit more than they bargained for, whoever paid for that.
Yeah, whatever. Make that shit work to your advantage.
Yeah. It's like, okay, you want to do a shot? Let's go do a shot.
Shot.
She didn't come over again the rest of the night.
Yeah, I would imagine not.
All right, I got a question from the audience.
Yes.
Your upcoming video was filmed in an abandoned Soviet hospital.
Well, okay. Half true. Not upcoming. That one, unfortunately, that's going to be the first video for the full-length album release. So that one's going to be on the shelf for a while, which sucks because, goddamn, that footage is awesome.
The back end of the question is, did you need to seek out permission from anyone to do it?
Yes. And just fucking luck of the draw. So we had a photographer, videographer following us around, like documenting our shenanigans the whole week we were there.
Nice.
Were they there at the dive bar?
Yes. Wait, no, because he went home after the show to start working on the photos and videos. So he didn't come out that night, but Harry, dude, that dude was awesome. Great dude. Like I said, followed us around all week, documenting our shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
Dude's a trooper, put in a shit ton of work. Not like I said, he did the photo shoot for us. He recorded video during rehearsal. He recorded video and photos during the show. He did the photo shoot for us the next day. So like, we worked that dude to death. But great dude. But turns out that his father is actually like on the city council for that fucking area.
No shit.
And worked it out to where we could go into this fucking abandoned Soviet era hospital and film a music video.
That's fucking
and
awesome.
He was out there, and that dude, like, his dad has been posting shit for the band on Facebook and shit.
No shit.
It's awesome. I was like, this dude is great.
That's phenomenal. Yeah, you see the pictures, and it's just like, oh man, that's a place I'd want to wander around in.
Dude, I'm
see
sure
the Cyrillic on the walls. And...
I'm sure we're all gonna end up with some fucking disease somewhere down the road because,
like,
it was.
Come on, we're all vets.
Yeah.
We've all been exposed to
like,
that shit.
I was like, you cannot tell me that there's not fucking asbestos or some shit up in this place.
Right.
Because
asbestos or whatever the Russian version of it was.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's probably even more caustic.
Oh, I'm sure. So you mentioned the full-length album.
Yes.
So do you have a targeted release date for that?
Not yet. We're pushing for the end of the year. Martin is actually working on getting the drums recorded, because basically what we're doing is we're taking the EP and then we're gonna move those over to the full length and then add another handful of songs that we're working on, and that will be the full length album.
Okay.
So Martin is working on scheduling studio time right now to get the drums recorded. Once we have the drums recorded, we'll start working on guitars. Vocals shouldn't have any changes from the demo versions. Usually I'll take the vocal performance from the demos, and unless something has changed drastically in the song, I keep those because they sound just fine.
Yeah.
But Costas will always redo his guitars because when he's doing the demos, he's not making sure it's perfect. He's just trying to get the idea across.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously we want everything to sound as good as it can for the album. So he'll re-record all his guitars. I'll do the bass. And then, like I said, hopefully end of the year, we'll have all that stuff done and start releasing songs there.
Okay.
And that song Falling Apart will be the first single and video more than likely.
Okay. And that's the one that was in the hospital?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we played that song at the show, even though it wasn't on the EP, we played that song, and that was like a last minute ad. Like Martin really wanted to play it, and I was like, dude, I haven't even had a chance to try and learn this song yet.
Uh-huh.
I like really, I had just heard it. You know, they Costas had posted it up, hey, this new song or whatever, but I hadn't really dove into it at all. Like, I was like, that's a cool song, but then I was busy doing other shit, so I was like, okay, that's off.
Yeah, cool story, bro.
Yeah.
And then got this shit to work on.
And then it was like, dude, like every time I saw like a suggested set list, that song was on it, and I'm like, bro, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And then finally, I got everything done. I got the show set up in Ableton, and I didn't have anything else to work on, and I had like 3 days before we were gonna leave. So I was like, let me look at this song. Let me see. And it turned out to be pretty easy to learn. And once I started learning it, I was like, I fucking love this song.
Yeah.
I was like, we're putting it in.
That's good.
So thank you to Martin for pushing that one, because I wouldn't have done it if he hadn't kept asking about it.
So listening to you, because you're still working full time, obviously, because we all have bills to pay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So are you spending pretty much every minute of your free time dedicated to this band right now?
I try not to. Obviously, I've got a family, I got a wife, I got kids. And if I'm down in the dungeon working all day long, and then I'm down in the dungeon working on music all night long, that's not fair to them. So
sure. Yeah.
I try to set aside my studio stuff for days that my wife is working. So, she works 12-hour shift. She's a nurse. So I'll try to do music stuff when she's not home.
Okay.
That way, when she is home, I can spend time with her. But there are times where I was like, hey, I need to go down and work on something. So
yeah. And I'm sure she's understanding and
Yeah.
everything.
as long as I'm making the effort, to spend some time with them, she's pretty good with it.
No, according to I think she's in the chat right now, actually calling you out. So I mean, I'm just saying.
Shit.
Yeah,
That's not true. And I also, I don't know. I doubt anybody from my job is watching, but I may occasionally slide from my work desk over to the audio desk and do some stuff. But
Right.
Hey.
When things get a little slow,
Hey, everyone has a break period that they're allowed to take.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I've been, this is when somebody who smokes would go out and smoke. Instead, I'm going to go and do this.
There you go. Perfect.
Work on some music first.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. So aside from the full length album, what else is in the immediate future of the band?
Right now, that's the next new thing is just getting the rest of these songs recorded. Obviously, trying to get some more live shows hooked up. We want to get that New York City show going. But like I said, that's all dependent on those guys, saving up some money to come over here, because that's the downside of being separated by an ocean is it's not just hey, let's get together and do this,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Somebody's got to invest money into.
It takes some logistics and money, unfortunately, to get these things to happen. So
Yeah.
The Budapest thing was like several months in the planning from, hey, the venue wants to do this to, okay, yeah, it's booked, it's legit. Let's start buying tickets and hotels. And so it was awesome. It was exhausting because, like I said, it was like go for 3 straight days. But it was awesome. Like,
nice. So
I think
do we want to move on to the little surprise that we have, or do we have any more questions from the
well, I mean, one of the questions is where can one buy merch and the album?
okay, so basically first of all, to find us on our handle on pretty much everything is Till the End Official, 1L TIL.
Yeah.
Till the End Official is our handle on pretty much everything, but if you go to tilltheendofficial.bio.link, that's going to give you everything you need, including the link to our merch page for our TeePublic. It's got, right now there's two different t-shirts. This one here, the EP art, and then I just put another one up there this morning. For it has the cover art for the Sumerian single, with the Till the End logo on there. So there's 2 Till the End shirts that are available on there right now. I do have, I don't remember how many, but I have like a decent amount of CDs left for the EP. I'm going to be putting a link up on there as well. I don't have it up yet. Basically, it's just a PayPal page where you can buy the album and you can pay for it however you want, credit card, however you're paying through PayPal. But you can buy it through there. I'll have that link up shortly. I just don't have it up there yet.
Okay. And aside from YouTube, where we can listen to your EP and see your videos, are you guys out there anywhere on any other streaming?
Oh yeah. So we're on. So as far as social media, we got YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We're on TikTok. As far as streaming goes, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Music, Deezer.
Okay, you are on Apple Music.
Yes,
okay.
all of the major streaming services. We're on Bandcamp. Somebody actually bought our album on Bandcamp the other day, which was awesome. Like,
really?
Like,
All
whoever
right.
that was, thank you.
All right, very cool.
So there you go. There's our bio link. So there's our apparel page there.
Yeah, Kelly, put that link in the chat.
She did.
Okay.
That's how I got it.
So yep.
Yeah,
We
there's
got the Dark Kings and then the Sumerian one. That Till the End banner thing. That was what I used to buy our backdrop, our actual just physical backdrop for shows and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then there's Swede Studios gear, and then some Slaves for Scores gear if you want to buy any of that stuff.
I don't know if you were watching the show. I think it was last week or the week before. I was wearing my Sweet
I saw
Studios
that, yeah.
tank top. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was repping you.
That's awesome.
So yeah, all of you people out there listening, be it audio listeners, those of you watching on YouTube right now, go support Till the End. Yeah.
Yes. And yeah, let's I'm hyped. Let's see this.
So what do you have for us exactly?
Tease up this video that we're
the
supposed to see.
backstory with this is we've done music videos for all the singles we released leading up to the full EP. The first one was like a live action kind of like but it was each of us in our own places, like, and then we sent all of our video we shot to a video editor in Greece as well. Dominic, he's done an amazing job with all the videos we've done so far. And then the second one was more of like a AI visualizer.
I was going to ask you about that because it didn't have any of the band in it at all.
No.
So all those images were AI generated, like the lady in the okay.
Yeah, it was all like AI visualizer lyric video type thing.
Okay.
And then the third one, Cemetery Trees, was again individual shots all put together. I actually went out to Mount Holly Cemetery and shot some cemetery stuff. That was for Cemetery Trees.
Sweet.
Dominic again did a great job on that. The Sumerian, which is going to drop on the 31st, that one we actually all went out on location and shot videos for that. So Anthony, who's out in Arizona now, he went out and shot his. I was going to shoot mine here in New Jersey. There's somewhere around here, there's like this, Vickers had told me about it. There's this like old like World War whatever like ammo.
Oh, the ammunition depot. Yeah.
I was gonna go out there and shoot.
Yeah, just gotta watch out for ticks when you're out there.
But it was so. This was January.
Oh God.
It was so fucking cold.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going out and trudging through the snow to to shoot this video.
Yeah.
Me and my wife happened to be going out to Arizona anyway to visit her family, and I was like, dude, I'm just gonna bring a guitar out there and we'll shoot it out in the fucking Arizona desert just like you did.
Yeah.
Costas, who lives in Greece, he went to Egypt, and funny story there. He had booked this Egyptian videographer to shoot everything, so he went out in the fucking Sahara Desert somewhere, and
like you do.
Yeah, and so he had hired this guy to shoot the video for him. Well, out there in the desert, there's like military shit and like so like the checkpoints and whatever. You got like, what are you doing out here, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they stop the guy, and for whatever reason, this guy decides to tell the cop, "Oh yeah, I'm shooting a video for this famous American metal band," and the cop's like, "Oh, okay. Well, where's your permit?"
Oh.
And he's like, I don't have a permit. And they fucking arrest that guy.
Holy shit.
So Costas is out there 2 hours in the fucking desert or whatever, and the videographer is arrested. Like, oh yeah, the cops arrested me. I can't make it out. So basically his wife ended up shooting his videos on an iPhone.
Wow.
And it turned out great. Like,
Yeah.
and then Martin, we're all out in the desert, comfortable, even hot. Meanwhile, Martin is in Hungary, which is temperature-wise, it's pretty much akin to here,
Mm-hmm.
and it's February.
Okay.
So he went out in this open field, and it was probably like 10 degrees outside, and he's out there playing drums in the middle of this field. So he got the short end of the stick on that one, but again, Dominic did an amazing job putting everything together. And then, like we were talking, while we were out there in Budapest, we finally got all of us together to shoot a video for Falling Apart, which will come out probably later this year. But the other song on the EP that didn't have a video, Sip of Sadness, we got this idea. We were watching, somebody had brought up, I think it was a Dream Theater video, and it was basically one of those kind of like like a B-roll live, live concert footage kind of where it starts out with shows them like in the airport and like setting up at the venue and just that kind of behind the scenes stuff, and then
the backdoor stuff.
And the backdoor stuff, yeah.
Exactly.
And then it ends with the live performance. So we're like, we should do a video like that.
Yeah.
So we've got all this footage that we shot, like the stuff that Harry had shot throughout the day, and then like the stuff from the crowd that my wife and Anthony's wife and just random people had posted and sent to us.
Yeah.
So I basically compiled all of that video footage, and I edited this one myself, just because I was like, well, this one's in my wheelhouse where I feel like I can do a good job with it. Dominic does a great job with the other stuff. He's got a lot more cool toys and software that I don't have to do like really cool transitions and shit like that. But this one, I was like, this is pretty straightforward and simple. I was like, I think I could do a good job with this one. And dude, I'm gonna toot my own horn. Like, I think this shit turned out awesome.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah, this is basically our Budapest trip in a short 4 minutes.
All right, and this is world premiere, right? This is the first time anybody's seeing this.
Yeah, hopefully the boys don't mind I'm sharing this, because we're not actually gonna drop this video until after the Sumerian, so probably sometime in April we're gonna drop this one on YouTube. Right. But special little treat for the Sidebar Cantina.
Yeah, all right. Well, we're
oh my God!
Sorry,
we're going right into it.
I know, right? So yeah, this is it. This is the video for Sip of Sadness, and
the band is Till the End.
Yes. Fuck yeah. That's good, man.
Yeah.
That was
Dude,
fucking awesome.
That fucking rocked.
Yeah, I love those kinds of videos too. The sort of mix of the backdoor stuff
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the concert footage, and yeah, that was fucking great.
That was awesome.
Yeah, you had everybody signing the posters.
Yeah,
backstage.
Which we have.
Yeah. Just
And like the one that everybody kind of like gets a little. My wife said it was corny, but like I noticed that you kind of smirked too. Is in the first verse. I traveled through the sky and it was the plane.
the wing.
And like that's the everybody that sees it, it's like, huh, yeah.
Yeah, the A350 or no, yeah,
Yeah.
it was A350.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's plain nerd shit.
Now, and again, you're only going to see this now until it's released
April
officially.
sometime.
Yeah,
All right.
dude, that phenomenal.
Yeah.
Dude, that guitar player's really
yeah,
good.
that solo was fucking
it's
impressive.
really good.
He's like, and I don't know if you noticed at the end there too, like this motherfucker, like he'll do shit like at the end there, in that last little bit, he's standing there like this, and he's playing one-handed. He's and I'm like during the show, so we played all the songs on the EP. We played Falling Apart, and then we played 2 covers. We played an In Flames cover and a Dark Tranquility song. In that Dark Tranquility song, we're playing a solo, like a harmonized solo. So he's playing one part, I'm playing the other part. So we come together on stage, and we're just jamming to this solo. And then this guy, in the middle of the solo, he just like reaches over, he puts his hand on my shoulder, and keeps playing one-handed while I'm playing. And I'm sitting there like,
focused.
and he's just like, and I'm like, this fucking guy, man.
Oh, that's great. Okay, sidebar. I wanted to bring this up earlier, but I didn't want to break the flow. You mentioned the guy that was that went to Egypt.
Yep.
Have you been following that shit about the stuff that they're finding under Giza?
Oh my God, yeah.
No,
You haven't been following any of that?
no.
If that shit turns out to be true, holy shit.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, apparently they've been doing these sonar images under the Pyramid of Giza, and they found these like spiral-like structures underneath, like these 8 massive
columns.
yeah,
go
columns.
down like 700 meters.
Yeah,
With like spiraling passages.
Really?
yeah,
Under the pyramids.
yeah. It's
Which? Yeah, I got to get churched up on this.
yeah.
Now there are people that are trying to debunk it already, saying it's whatever and it hasn't been peer reviewed and all that shit that has to happen with scientific discoveries. But
Right.
if it's true and that shit's down there, fuck.
That's going to change our whole understanding of
That's pretty amazing.
what they were doing back
Dude.
then.
As part of this sidebar,
Aliens.
dude, read the 12th Planet. Zachariah Stitchin, the 12th Planet.
You and Jimmy Johnson were trying to get me to read that.
Yeah,
my
dude.
first year on the jet.
Look, it is a thought-provoking book.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it is the facts, but it is very thought-provoking. It's one of those things where somebody is doing that research. Somebody is going in there and they're finding all this information and they're doing that research and they're putting pen to paper and fucking doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether their stream of thought is accurate, because you know what happens, you start having confirmation bias and that starts veering off in another direction. But there's some facts in there, in all of it. So the 12 planets like that. I mean, there's a lot of nonsense, but there's some facts that are in there that are extremely compelling.
Mm-hmm.
With this, though, I was fucking so fortunate to be able to be there,
Mm-hmm.
right? And get into one of the pyramids. I mean, it was one of the things that you do, right? You go and you get to go in. It's not. I forget which pyramid it is, because there's one pyramid that's like an active tomb, and they don't let anybody in there. And there's the other pyramid, which you go into with the tours. It has all the open tunnels from, the grave robbers and shit.
Yeah.
But when you're standing around all this shit, and it's like this is just truly fucking remarkable. Like the age of this stuff and the complexity of it.
Mm-hmm.
That humans did this, and I truly believe humans did do it. But
yeah, and a long time ago too.
Yeah. What even more so than the pyramids themselves was going into the fucking museum, at Cairo, and their national museum. The shit they have in there, with the fucking statues and like these giant monuments and statues, and the complexity of all the things that they found in there. This is all shit that they got out of the ground and took back from fucking France when Napoleon went and stole a bunch of shit. You look at it and go like, man, there's a level of complexity here that is just truly unbelievable. And it wouldn't surprise me at all to find out that there's something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's supposed to be like 8 columns, I think.
Yeah.
Again, with some sort of spiral going down each one of them, and man,
because that whole thing is on a plateau. And I wonder, like, because you see areas where the Nile, when the Nile flooded, and they had like where the river would come up through there, like next to the Sphinx, and you could see like where the Nile would have came up. So I wonder if that had something to do with it.
Maybe, but either way, it's like Nick said, if this turns out to be true, then it's going to be groundbreaking.
I gotta get churched up.
Even without, like Tina brought up, like even without any of this new shit, just how accurately they line shit up, like perfect squares, but my house doesn't have a fucking right angle in it. Like,
yeah. Well, the worst possible thing was about to fly out of my mouth, and I'm not going to say it. It seems like shit that's built to last was built by slaves.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, think of all the things that are built to stand for eons.
It's that whole fucking, what was it, Louis C.K.?
Yeah, he did a great bit about that.
Like every amazing thing that's ever happened in the history of the world was built on slavery.
Yep.
Yeah, he's
you just throw human death and suffering at it until it's done.
Yep.
It's
sad, but it's true.
He's not wrong. And unfortunately, not enough human suffering happened when they built my house too. Well, and especially not the fucking power grid that's at your fucking neighborhood, for God's sakes, as often as you lose power.
The wind blows, I lose power for 2 days.
So before we close it up, because we're already getting close to time, Nick, I wanted to ask you, have you been following Star Wars lately? Have you been watching the new shows?
So I was watching, what's the name of it? Skeleton Crew.
Okay.
I got to the final episode, I think, and I haven't watched it, just because I got so busy doing other band shit.
True, yeah.
So I have to go in and watch the final episode. I'm probably gonna go back and just rewatch the whole thing.
Yeah,
dude, I enjoyed that one. That one was fun.
Yeah, it was a good show.
The Acolyte, I enjoyed it for what it was. There was some things in it where I was like, meh, but like overall, I didn't mind it. Like the things that people were getting pissed off in that show about, I was just like, bro, like all of this shit that you're complaining about has been done in Star Wars already.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, really, like things like, how are you gonna have fire in space? Like that's the hill you want to die on.
Right.
Like, that's been a thing in Star Wars for decades.
Yeah. From the very first show when the Death Star exploded.
Right.
And it's just some of the things that people were complaining about. It's like you just want to complain about something. You want to find something in the show that you don't like, so you can bitch about it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of people do nowadays. They want to find something to bitch about just so they can get online and have their little fucking tantrum. I don't know. Most of these shows that come out, I go into it with an open mind of just like, I just want to be entertained.
Mm-hmm.
I've said it before. We live in the greatest fucking era of Star Wars fans that you could possibly live in. We have new content all the time. Whereas when we were kids, you had to wait fucking decades before new shit came out. Now you get new shit all the time, every few months.
We're spoiled.
So, like, people just want to bitch about shit. And I don't know. Do I like everything that comes out? No. But, I take it for what it is. It was, I found the show, like, enjoyable to watch for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
There was some parts that I was just like, whatever. But I didn't get butthurt about it like a lot of people did.
Right. Yeah, for me, it was just the inconsistencies in the characters. That was the only thing that really bothered me about Acolyte for the most part.
I can tell you right now, I don't give a fuck about Acolyte, any of those shows right now.
Yeah.
Because all I'm focused on right now is Andor.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
but I will say, Acolyte had some fucking phenomenal fight choreography.
It did.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
Well, dude, that's the logarithm that's in my Instagram feed keeps feeding me like stuff from Hayden Christensen and talking about the fight sequences and from the prequels, and also it intersperses the stuff from Obi-Wan in there, and I'm like, that's the stuff in Obi-Wan that I liked. I liked the fight sequences.
Mhm.
I liked seeing them battle again. You know what I mean? It's like
when Vader was dragging him through the fire with the Force.
like that shit was real. That shit was great. Now the rest of the, you kind of have to, kind of look around it. And
I still say, like, I want to see some old. I want to see this motherfucker. I want to see that motherfucker.
And
Like-
he's pointing to Revan and
Bane.
Bane. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
want to see shows or movies about that.
Well, there's a rumor floating around that they're going to announce an Old Republic show at Celebration next month. So
Celebration.
I mean, I'm trying not to get too excited for the possibility, but
Like I understand the want and the need to kind of keep going back to the well of what's established. And then even when they stray from it, they still tie to it.
Yes.
Like, you had Yoda in the Acolyte. And
Mhm.
there's still ties to what exists already.
Oh shit, there's ties to Yoda in the fucking in the books, that book series that you're not reading. The High Republic shit.
oh yeah.
Like it's like
I just think there's so much good stuff out there that doesn't have anything to do with the Skywalkers and the already established stories that we have shows and movies about. And I think that would make a lot of people happy if they just stepped away from that for a second
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and told a totally different story.
yeah, look at what Andor is doing. There's not
Yeah, there's no Jedi
There's
in
no
it.
there's no Skywalkers. I mean, that they exist.
Right.
Like
Right.
this is obviously Star Wars, and it's obviously during this time, but it's not the focal point. And you can tell a compelling fucking story and get people wholly engaged
Yeah.
by telling that level of story, having that level of storytelling. Granted, you're not going to be able to make every show like as dramatic.
Yeah.
I think you're still going to have shows like The Mandalorian where it's just a little bit more like a Western, but make that show with that same mentality of like, okay, we're going to focus. Where I think The Mandalorian went wrong was it started to careen itself into the Skywalker shit, where it didn't need to.
Yeah.
Like, what was the best thing about The Mandalorian in the beginning was the fact that it wasn't part of that. And then suddenly everything is now connected.
Mhm.
The Mandalorian and Ahsoka, that whole fucking train wreck. Like, the closer we get to having something with The Mandalorian and Ahsoka and all that,
Mhm.
the worse I think it's going to be.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I have just, I don't know. Just makes my butthole twitch that they're gonna fuck it up.
Well, that's what's next on the menu after Andor is we've got, Ahsoka season 2 and the Mandalorian movie.
Yeah, I don't have. I mean, obviously I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
But I don't have good feelings. I just feel like they're gonna fuck it up.
Hmm.
Because they didn't leave themselves any wiggle room at all. to not fuck the canon.
That is true.
They strung fucking dental floss in between all these things, and they're walking that tightrope.
Yeah, and they're the ones that wanted to add all this canon in between.
Yeah.
They made all the Leia book and everything else that took place in between, and now they're trying to shove this in as well.
Yeah, bring in Ezra, and it's too much. It's too much. They're gonna fuck it up. They're gonna fuck it up. They're gonna have a Last Jedi all over it. A nice, wet, sloppy, just fucking explosive Last Jedi.
That's a visual.
All over it. You like that? You like that?
That's something.
I have slightly more faith than that, but
yeah,
we'll see.
And especially when Kathleen Kennedy's successor is named, that could be really good or a really bad thing, depending.
I think always in motion the future is. So
Indeed.
we shall see.
Yep. And one last thing I wanted to ask you, Nick, was let's see some of the newest art that you have, because you've gotten some more additions to the sleeves, right?
Yeah, I've pretty much finished up. So I got my fucking nihilist there, which
that looks pretty fucking badass.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite at this point. That one turned out.
Is that nihilist's blade?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And then
tell them how much you enjoyed getting that one.
Yeah, dude, all these last ones sucked because it was all on the inside or
Yeah.
the elbow. And then I don't know if you saw the Cad Bane
I don't.
person.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one in person.
And then
Damn. And they did such a good job with the details and everything.
Yeah,
And then
Brett's amazing.
Mandalorian Super Commando there.
Oh yeah.
And then
Fucking
Darth
Bane, obviously. Badass. What is that fight scene on the inside of the arm there?
that was Qui-Gon and Maul.
Holy shit.
Qui-Gon getting skewered.
Nice. When'd you get that one?
That one's been there for a while.
Has it?
Yeah.
Maybe I just didn't notice before, but
And then I got the opening lines of the Sith Code.
yeah, peace is a lie. There's only passion.
Because obviously, the Sith sleeves.
Yeah. Oh, it's badass.
Yeah, Brett does an amazing job. But I was at he was working on the nihilist, right? When I saw you
Yeah, it was
that day.
nihilist, yeah.
And poor Nick was sweating.
Yeah.
You could tell it was
Dude, between this and then Darth Bane, and then just so he did all this, and then he was working on just coloring in the elbow.
Yeah.
Which elbows suck. But honestly, I found that anything on the inside of the arm and the elbow really sucks.
Mm-hmm.
The Cad Bane, we did Cad Bane in 2 sessions, and at the end of the first session, I was almost ready to tap.
Oh,
And
really?
Luckily, because we were doing that one at a convention, and he had spent like all day setting up.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, dude, we might have to finish this one at another time. He's like, I'm wrecked right now. And I was like, thank God, because I don't have to tap now. So then we finished that one up, and dude, this one, dude, I've never been so close to tapping on
Yeah.
a tattoo. Like, I was at the point where I was like, I don't know how much more I can take. And then this one, by the end of it, I'm sitting, I'm like this, and dude, my hand was just twitching, like just involuntary muscle spasm, just because my body was just at that point where it's like, I've had enough of this.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this anymore.
yeah. This is a voluntary action, and you need to stop.
Yeah. So these last few sucked. And it just seems like every single new one I get, it's worse and worse. And I was like, either I'm just becoming a bigger pussy, or I'm just picking really bad spots that suck.
Right.
Maybe I saved the worst ones for last. Like I got all the upper arm and
I think that was your subconscious thing. Was like, all right, I'm just gonna get all these done, and if I really, really, really am dedicated to this, I'll get these inside parts done. Oh, excuse me.
but they sucked. But now like the arms are all filled up, and
And they look fucking fantastic.
I gotta
So.
start moving on to something else now. I gotta legs or something.
More Star Wars stuff, or are you going to branch out a little bit?
No, I think I'm gonna start doing some music. Shit.
Okay.
Some getting some bands, and I gotta get a Till the End tattoo.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Probably do the TTE logo.
All right.
But yeah, I got some ideas like Brett. The stickers, the little mashup stickers that Brett was doing.
Yeah.
I want to have like one of the ideas I talked with him about is like I want to get like my favorite guitar players and have him do them in those sticker styles.
Okay.
And tattoo those. So like that was an idea. We'll see as we go.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about as far as the band goes till the end before we close up here?
No, go buy some merch.
Yes, please,
I
please
saw
do that.
Dragon Buddy, thank you. He said he bought Kelly some shirts.
Ah, kick ass.
So yeah, buy some shirts when I get the link up for the EP. Buy a CD or two, and if we sell out of those and there's enough demand, I can do another run of them. If not, we'll just wait for the full length. Maybe on the full length we'll do some vinyl.
Okay.
We didn't want to do that this first go around just because vinyl's more expensive to do.
Yeah.
And I don't want to, you gotta do like at least 100 of them, and I don't want to be sitting on 100 records.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So if there's enough demand for it, then maybe we do some vinyl. If not, we'll do CDs again. CDs are easy.
Okay.
They're much cheaper to do.
Yeah.
Well, if you do vinyl, I'll definitely get one because I still, I still frequent the vinyl. Like I think I'm playing a record a couple times a week. I'm playing a record. It may end up being Star Wars most of the time, but yeah.
Yep. And Scott from Used and Abused mentions that he's going to be picking up an EP here soon. So thank you, Scott. And I guess that just leaves us to the end here. And Dave, I'm sure you've got some reads you got to do.
I do. Let's see here. For the ATSW family happenings, it's going to be boring because I think the last time it was the JLo show. But we haven't had reviews, so
JLo was talking to my face.
Yes.
CC.
On Wednesday, ATSW Escape Pod will be freeballing because that's what they do now. Discussing the latest in sports, video games, movie time, and the hot sheets. Join Don Della Snooch, Brady McLovin, and Dragon Buddy in the live chat, 1905, 705 Eastern on the YouTube. I meant to actually log into their show last week because I wanted to harass them about something, but I ended up, I don't know, I was probably moving furniture or some bullshit. Yeah. Anyway, watch their show, and you'll do it. God, what was the reason? There was a reason that I wanted to do it.
We can't see inside your head, Dave.
Come on, Nick. Thank God. Like, you'd probably all get nauseous and throw up, like from the spinning.
Right.
So it seems like it's like a constant fuck. It's like the Gravitron.
It would be like that fucking the meme of fucking John Travolta, like.
Oh yeah. I love that one.
No, it's
such a great one.
It's more like it's the Gravitron. You have you're spinning.
Mm-hmm.
You think you can handle it, and then somehow you get stuck on the side and you can't move.
Yeah.
Or you start moving towards the center and you throw up. Anyway, Thursday, Alan and DB wrap up Marching with Cage month with the 2023 horror comedy Renfield, starring, you guessed it, Nicolas Cage. What a great concept! This Marching with Cage thing. I really, well done, guys.
Yeah, very clever.
First, you need to view it on Peacock, and then catch the review at Grave Reviews on YouTube at 2000, 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We had a conversation about peacocks today at work. What assholes they are.
Are they?
They're annoying fucking birds.
Kristen and I were talking about them. She wanted to know where they were from, like what places they're native to. Apparently, it's nothing around here.
No. Where are they from?
She looked it up, but I can't remember.
I've run into them, and they were on a golf course in Hawaii, and they were all over the fucking place and being a real nuisance.
Really?
All over the fucking golf course.
Huh.
And you couldn't do shit to them. Like, it was like verboten.
Oh, they're like protected?
Yeah.
Can't like whack them with your golf club?
No. But they would like make all kinds of fucking noise. They're noisy fucking birds. And then we were in in Bolivia, and in this like compound in Bolivia, and inside the compound they had a bunch of peacocks, and they were desperately trying to get out of the courtyard in this compound. So all they did was fucking screech and make noise the entire fucking time.
Damn.
Dude, it was awful. Fuck peacocks. The Orange Fett Show released episode 138, Rocky 6, this past Friday. Is it Rocky 6 or Rocky 4? Or they?
Well, I think they already did Rocky 4.
Okay, so Rocky 6 is this past Friday.
Which Rocky 6 was the one that was just called Rocky Balboa, right?
I don't fucking know.
Pretty sure
I stopped with the fucking Russians. That's
yeah. That was a good stopping point for the series.
Yeah.
Though I hear the Creed movie is pretty good.
Now, one thing I will say is, out of the newer movies, like there is that one scene where he's talking to his son about like, you know, it's not how hard you can get hit.
Yeah.
It's how hard it's not how hard you hit, it's how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. Like that whole sequence of him talking to his son, I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
The rest of the movie,
yeah, let's isolate that one little bit, put it into a meme. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's Rocky 4. Bronco Fett said Rocky 4.
Oh. So
That's
who said Rocky 6?
That's good. If I can change.
Or can Dave just not read Roman numerals?
It's VI and in the
Everybody can change.
Regardless of whichever Rocky it is, you need to catch it on the Orange Fett Show on Spotify or Apple. If you put it on a teleprompter, I will read it, Lunar Girl. You know this. I just added this note, and I'm going to speak it into existence. You need to support the official Sidebar Cantina band Till the End.
Oh, they're the official Sidebar
The official
band.
Sidebar Cantina band.
Okay.
As said by me.
Okay. Play that same song.
With absolutely no fucking validation whatsoever. We're just going to go with it. Since we premiered a video and everything, I think.
All right.
Why the hell not? We don't have a band, right?
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Now we have one.
Fair enough.
Make it so. There, the site to go to is tilltheendofficial.bio.link. So go to that link, tilltheendofficial.bio.link, and buy their shit. And then no news this past week from Used and Abused or Layman's Terms. So you can find us at bio.link/sidebarcantina, where you find at least Patreon, YouTube, our audio podcast on Apple, Audible, and Spotify, and all social media platforms, including X, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, and Discord. Once you get to the bio link, simply click. Damn it. Once you get to the bio link, simply click the symbols under our page to go to your platform of choice. You can also find all of our past Spotify mixtape playlists. And talking is hard. Also, in a bio link is our TeePublic merch shop. Choose from 7 designs on everything from t-shirts and hoodies to tote bags, phone cases, and exclusive stickers and pins, wall art, magnets, notebooks, laptop cases, pillows, just about anything you can imagine. Imagine a pillow with Jason's nothing says love like a naked Jason chick on a pillow.
Mm-hmm.
I was scrolling through my the files I have on one of my share drives, like for my iCloud, and when I scroll through it, the JPEG of Jason, like the one I used to make the fucking pillow, it like when you scroll by it, I have the pictures big enough so I can see it, and I scroll by it, and it jolts me every fucking time. Like, oh, okay, yeah, there it is.
Hey, this was your idea, man.
I know. That's and it makes it that much more horrifying. You too can own one of these. Make it into a banner if you want. You can hang it on your wall. Go to bio.link/sidebarcantina and click merch. Reviews?
No reviews.
Motherfuckers. All right, this is what you're going to do, people. You're going to go to tilltheendofficial.bio.link.
Follow on everything.
Yes.
Follow all that shit. And then you're going to go to bio.link/sidebarcantina. Follow all our shit. click the like button for God's sakes. God, it's the most annoying fucking thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like I hate myself if I watch something and I forget to click the fucking thumbs up. Because I know people are watching.
Oh yeah.
You know they get the views. Why aren't you just hit the thumbs up? How hard is that? How hard is that? Just fucking do it, people.
Scott made a chat in the YouTube. He said, "I still have the naked Jason shirt and wear it in public. It's a conversation starter." I'm sure it is.
Like what? That Scott, you are a bold man, sir. That is fantastic. You know what we need? We need Scott on the street. We need him to find some random person that asks him about it and get a selfie with this person and send it to us.
Right.
So that we can show everybody like, hey, this is Scott out on the street wearing Jason's fucking half naked ass, being drawn like one of his French girls.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, it'd be fucking great. And then we have Wally draw a picture of Scott with this person wearing the shirts and make that into a shirt.
It's like Inception. Jason Rose Inception.
I didn't ask for any of this.
Don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. Please write us a 5-star review on Apple or Audible. Don't have an Apple Audible account. Shirtception. That's a good one. Our Facebook page has a review feature too. Just screenshot your review before you hit done. DM us the pic on Instagram or Twitter with your name and address so Luna Girl can send you a super cool ATSW family swag pack, which is gathering all kinds of dust because nobody's fucking leaving us a review. God damn it. This is your chance to tell us your thoughts on the show. Jason or Jennifer Lopez or Hank or Edith or Mama or John Tom Call. I promise you next week, somebody different is going to read.
Okay.
Promises. Next week.
All right.
Or somebody phone will read your review word for word on our next episode. God, I'm broken. I didn't even talk that much today. And I'm like, bleh. Let us know how you want to read it, who you want to read it. Finally, if you catch us on Spotify, help us out. Click those stars. If you're listening to us on audio, please consider joining us in the live chat on Mondays. The chat is most definitely where it is at. If you're new to Sidebar, please subscribe, ding that bell. As I said earlier, select all to receive notifications when we go live. Remember to smash that like button. It really helps us out, and you will fucking do it. And, of course, many thanks to our fucking awesome Patreon supporters. You are the reason why we do this.
That's right.
And that's all I have.
All right. Well, Nick, thanks for coming out and talking to us about the band. And
Always fun.
yeah, next time you'll have to come out and give me a lesson on Seven Dust.
There you go.
So
hey, I've said I said to Scott, you guys, if you guys ever want to talk Seven Dust, I'm your man.
all right.
Yeah.
Then we'll have to schedule that in the future.
Yeah.
And
I mean, and I'm already familiar.
right.
Like, I've been to shows. I've been to a couple of different Seven Dust shows now. So
yeah. And I'm sure some of their songs will be familiar to me, but
I'm sure you've heard some of them. Yeah.
yeah, but never really was much of a follower. So I'll be curious to dig deep into their catalog and
There you go.
see what's in there.
There is a lot to dig into.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching us on YouTube. Thank you to all of our audio listeners. We love you guys too. And I think that's pretty much it. So until next time, Dave, Nick, and everybody else, may the force be with you.
May the force be with you.
Force be with you.
Okay, now what do I click?
The hell
Was that your metal voice?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, that Egypt shit's crazy though, right?
Yeah, that's
When did this start hitting the?
It was just a couple days ago.
I saw it on Rogan about a week ago. He was talking about it, and then it finally started popping up in like my news feeds and everything.
Yeah.
So
I think I saw it maybe like 3 or 4 days ago,
okay,
and I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
yeah. And yeah, it seems so outrageous to be real, but I mean, you never know.
Well, that's the. I mean, honestly, everything about that area and about Egypt in general is fucking unreal.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you read that stitching book. It's out on Audible. You can
The 12th Planet or whatever.
Yeah. It's not exciting by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, it reads like an academic paper.
Oh, really?
But I think that's what makes it a little bit feel like it's more compelling. But again, it's kind of, if you go into it with just the idea that like I'm reading this to see what factual information I can get out of it,
Mm-hmm.
not reading it for like, oh my God, this whole thing is true, which Jimmy kind of went into.
Yeah, he was pretty convinced.
Yeah. Which, because there's a whole, like, it's not just the one book. There's a whole bunch of books. Why is it good for, because 59, I can't. What?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't either.
37.
In a row?
37. My girlfriend sucked 37 dicks.
In a row?
All right, folks.
Well, it's tough to, like, when something goes on in Egypt, like, they have I was watching on Nat Geo and Disney, I talk about people should watch this shit. They have stuff on the pyramids, and it's amazing how when people go there to do, like, their dig sites,
Mm-hmm.
the level of permits, like, okay, this is when you're allowed to dig, this is what time of the season you're allowed to go dig, this is who you have to, like, have with you, and, like, it's very structured.
Yeah. Well,
Like-
I would imagine, yeah, because you don't want people just rolling in there and just fucking pillaging the rest of what they've got.
Right. Oh, that was the music video. Like, there's a weird bar in the audio.
Oh, yeah.
Like, wow, that's even.
All right. I think I'm going to turn off the live stream. But thank you, everybody. You guys are awesome. We love you.
Bye.
Bye now. Bye-bye.